Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. This is the story of what if Naruto was betrayed by everyone, taken by Toby, and became the strongest rogue on a path of revenge. Imagine getting dragged through the mud by your own village, losing everything you care about, only to get snatched up by Toby himself. Yeah, it's that kind of story. Revenge, power, and a whole lot of dark vibes. Before we dive in, don't forget to smash that like button, share with your squad, and hit subscribe for more What If madness. All right, enough talk. Let's get right into it. Did the third Hokage tell you much? The fourth Hokage asked. Naruto shook his head. He was still wiping his tears from this emotional reunion. I see. He probably didn't want to spread too much information about the Kyuubi's attack that night. And if people were to know you were my son, your life would have been in danger. Naruto sniffled as he stared at the ground, as if it already wasn't. He told him. Naruto balled up his right hand. Dad, he said. Huh? Wadash. Naruto then punched his dad hard in the gut. Mixed emotions of hurt and anger flooding through Naruto's mind and body. What were you thinking sealing the Kyuubi inside your son? He yelled. I had to go through so much without you, Tebeo. Everywhere I went, the people in the village looked at me like I was some outsider. I couldn't even make any friends without their parents bringing them away from me. Naruto's dad decided to let his son finish. He couldn't imagine what Naruto had to go through throughout all these years, so it's only fair if he lets Naruto let his anger out. I wanted to be treated fairly, like anyone else. I tried so hard to protect everyone, but it's like all I got was even more glares and kicks and punches. Even the two people on my team, who I thought I could trust, treated me unfairly. Then after finally having enough, I left the village and joined the Akatsuki, only to be betrayed by them too. I can't depend on no one now. I've killed Tebeo. I've killed my enemies without an ounce of remorse, and I'd do the same to anyone from the Leaf. Naruto finished, and right there, he began to cry again. Years of pent-up depression and anger was spilled from his mouth and into the fourth's ears. His dad looked down at him with sadness. He felt as if he's to blame for how Naruto is now. You punch hard, Naruto. He told him. How old are you, son? Naruto tried to keep his legs from giving up on him as he answered. 16. He told him. Wow, already? Well, time sure does fly. Naruto finished wiping his tears. Dad, what's your name? He asked. Minato Namikaze. Did people around the village mention the name the Yellow Flash? Minato asked. I don't even remember. Naruto muttered. It feels as if I don't remember anything since the Akatsuki tried to kill me. Certainly, you've gotten strong, especially if you could beat pain. Minato told him. You can't know about that? How? Naruto questioned. I watched from inside you. Naruto looked up at Minato in shock. Then you know Dash. Yeah, Minato said, beating him to it. I know about Jiraiya-sensei. I know about the killings you've done too. Naruto nodded. Then you know I'm not going to stop until every Akatsuki member is dead, right? Minato looked down at his son worriedly. I sealed the Kyuubi in you because I believed you could control it, he told Naruto. Clearly you both are getting along, but not the way I wanted you to. Minato stepped forward and puts his hand on Naruto's shoulder. There's something I need to tell you about the attack on Konoha 16 years ago. Huh? There was a mastermind who manipulated the Kyuubi into attacking the village. Minato told him. Mastermind? Wait, so this person must have some amount of strength to be able to control Kurama. Naruto says, Kurama? I guess the tailed beasts do have actual names. But yes, this person did have such power. Minato responded. And there's a chance he could attack the village again. Naruto slightly chuckled. The village is already destroyed. I guess Pain already finished his mission before I took care of him. No, it wasn't Pain. Minato said. Naruto gasped. Not him? Then who? He asked. One of the Akatsuki members, the man with the mask. Naruto's eyes almost widened. There was only one person in the group who had a mask. Toby! Naruto said aloud. Naruto's mind began to go insane. The man who's responsible for Naruto's suffering throughout these 16 years was Toby. Why him? When he's the one who recruited me? Naruto raised his voice in anger. That man must have tried using you, just like he's probably been using Pain. Minato responded. Pain? He used someone with that much strength? Naruto said. Minato nodded. The man in the mask, Toby, you said he's no ordinary ninja. He read through every attack. he said. Naruto bit down roughly. He could have chipped off a piece of a tooth. He was having dark thoughts, everything Toby's done. He's responsible for his parents' death, and even tried to kill him a few months back. I'm gonna kill him, Naruto said, and Minato heard it loud and clear. His eyes narrowed at Naruto. Killing him won't solve anything. You know that, Naruto. No, killing him will make me feel a whole lot better, Naruto objected. He's part of the reason I'm suffering. When I get my hands on him, Minato puts his hand on Naruto's head, his hand resting against his scalp. You're not listening to me, son. If you kill him, things will just escalate even further. The Leaf will consider you a rogue ninja, and there's a possibility that they'll kill you. Minato said to him, do you really think that's the best option? Naruto sighed. He turned away from Minato. I don't care. I'm still doing it, even if Bachan sends every shinobi out there to kill me. Minato looked at his son in a bit of disappointment. He never wanted Naruto to take this route. Before his death, he never wanted Naruto to do such monstrous things and turn his back on the village. But then again, he blamed himself. If only I was there by your side this entire time, Naruto, maybe things would have never been like this. He said, I guess it's pretty pointless to tell you to go back to the village. Naruto nodded. I'm not going back there. When this is all done, Sasuke will be the one to die by my hands. Believe it, he responded. Minato shook his head. As much as a father is supposed to cheer on their sons, I must say, I cannot do that, Minato said. Naruto turned back around as Minato continued. I believe you'll see things a different way, Naruto, he said before hugging Naruto. I have faith in you, son. Work things out with Sasuke before it's too late. Naruto hugged back, but still, he stood by his words. I can't, Dad. I won't. He told him, you will, Minato reasoned. Minato puts his hand on Naruto's hair again before smiling brightly at him. You're my son after all. I know you'll choose the right path. Minato then began to back away from Naruto. Slowly, he started to disappear to a bright light. Goodbye, Naruto, stay alive. Please, for me and your mom, he said before completely disappearing. Naruto stared at the ground as he closed his eyes. Goodbye, Dad. Naruto woke up, his back still against the tree like last night. Finally seeing his dad helped out a bit. Though he never wanted it to end, he wished he could spend the rest of his life talking to his dad. But like they say, all good things must come to an end. Naruto stood up and looked up at the sky. He inhaled sharply. What now, Kit? Naruto exhaled shortly afterwards. He gathered his things before responding back to Kurama. Rain Village. Finally, after a few hours of walking, Naruto had finally made it to the Rain Village. He found it weird how it's raining here, but when he left after Jiraiya died, there was no rain. Well, it is called the Rain Village, so he wasn't all that surprised. The blonde walked on the water with chakra emitted in his feet. He knows it's going to take a while for him to find the real pain, because he wasn't too familiar with the village. But when he felt that someone was standing behind him, he simply smiled. You saved me the trouble of looking for you, Konan, he said. He turned around and saw the older woman standing there. She had narrowed her eyes at him. Where's the real pain? Naruto asked. What could you possibly want with Nagato's corpse? Konan responded. Nagato, huh? Well, I'll get straight to the point. I want the Rinnegan, Naruto told her. Konan stayed quiet as she just eyed the blonde. He looked back at her with disappointment. Silent treatment? Well, what did I expect? Naruto took one step forward and Konan finally spoke. You've gone too far, Naruto Uzumaki. No, not far enough, Naruto told her. By the way, it's Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto then tried to rush towards. This'll probably take a second. You underestimate me, Konan told him. She flew into the sky with her paper wings while also sending down paper bombs towards the blonde. Naruto jumped back to avoid the bombs, but they seemed to follow him wherever he went. He took out a paper bomb kunai and waited for the moment. Conan's paper bombs got close enough. When he saw one about to touch the bridge of his nose, he jumped and threw the kunai as it pierced the paper bomb and nailed it to the ground. He got some far distance as it blew up. The huge explosion echoed as he let out a breath he didn't even know he was holding. Konan took the time to fly through the smoke and choke Naruto. She kept a tight grip on his throat before slamming him to the ground and kicking him away. Naruto went flying into a cement, almost piercing through it as he coughed a bit. Take a second, huh? Screw you. Naruto stepped out of the wall as he recovered quickly thanks to Kurama. Conan's wings went away as she had paper coming apart from her face. "I'll give you that," he told her. "Care to explain how the fuck this Nagato guy died?" "The Leaf Village is back alive," Konan told him. Naruto narrowed his eyes. "What the hell did you just say? I don't like repeating myself. But Nagato is the reason why they're alive." Naruto then began to grow more angry. "Then why?" He grumbled before he began to yell at them. "Then why the hell would you send Kisame to kill me, when you were just going to betray the Akatsuki anyway?" He raised his voice. Konan remained silent as Naruto continued to ramble. More importantly, what made Nagato do this? Konan kept her same expression as she answered. "Because believe it or not, we actually liked Itachi. His little brother is almost like a spitting image of him." Konan told him. "That doesn't answer my question. We did it because Sasuke gave us his word," Konan told him. "You think we actually wanted this, Naruto? If you knew what the Akatsuki was before, none of this would have happened." Naruto scoffed. "We wanted to bring peace to this world. Just like Jiraiya-sensei, we dash." "You don't speak of his name." Naruto interrupted him. "Sensei, you're the reason he's dead. Where's the peace in that?" "You're missing the point, clueless boy." "No," Naruto told her. "It doesn't matter. I'm going to destroy the leaf anyway. Then I'm going to kill Sasuke and bury him into the dirt, right next to Nagato." Naruto then glowed a bright yellow as he rushed towards Konan again. "I won't allow it," she yelled back. The water began to split, surprising Naruto as he almost tripped. In the long crack, he saw a bunch of blank paper. Surely enough, whatever Konan has planned, it's going to be big. For now, he was going to have to avoid it. He turned back to see Konan was no longer where she was standing. Before Naruto could even react, he gets a kick to the back as he fell down. As he fell down, he noticed the paper around him were no ordinary paper, but there were at least more than 1,000,000 paper bombs. Shit, he made a shadow clone and tried to act fast. "I won't let you get away," Konan yelled. The clone he made grabbed his hand and threw him into upwards to escape this instant death before it's too late. The paper bombs then detonated. The shadow clone completely gone, and Naruto had barely made it out of there. Kind of forgot how this jutsu works, so bear with me. The bottom part of his cloak was ripped due to the explosion. The paper bombs continued to explode even more as he tried to hide in the smoke and get some distance from him and Konan. "Holy shit, you clearly didn't take her serious, kid." Naruto ignored Kurama's words as he tried to focus more now. He couldn't lie, he did doubt Konan a bit. Mostly because he had never seen her fight or even heard about her much when in the Akatsuki. One surprised him was that the explosions were still going off. He tried his hardest to hold in a few coughs so he doesn't give away his position, but it didn't work. He had to stay clear of the smoke quickly, or else there could be a chance he passes out. As the ground still shook and the smoke filled Naruto's lungs, he pushed through the smoke and hopefully tried to find the building where Nagato's body is in. Surely enough, this jutsu of hers has to at least take a lot of chakra to be going on this long. Naruto then felt paper attached to his arm as he jolted up and tried to remove it, only for his other to be held back by paper. He saw as Konan came flying towards him. Kurama, wanting to help Naruto, had his yellow glowing, chakra-formed arms pound her into the water as the paper on both of Naruto's arms went away. Konan came out of the water as she began forming what looked like more than 10 paper shurikens. "We trust in Sasuke that if I can't put an end to your madness, then he will before it gets out of hand, Naruto." "Like I'd let that happen," he responded to her. "Either way, I'm gonna kill him and the Akatsuki." The paper shurikens came rushing towards the blonde. "Kurama, that's enough for now. You sure you can beat her with your own strength? Kit, I'm gonna need you for later, but right now I got a plan." Naruto activated his Sharingans as he tried to dodge every shuriken thrown at him as the explosion continued, which threw off his balancing at times. In case you haven't noticed, Konan started off, "This is my Kami no Shisha no Jutsu." More than 600 billion paper bombs were planted, and this will go on for at least another 5 minutes. The last paper shuriken scraped Naruto's cheek. He successfully dodged the other shurikens, and he waited for the right moment. He took a deep breath as he fell against the water and sunk down into it. But Konan wasn't going to let him sink so easily. Taking the risk, she went into the water and saw the boy slowly sinking. His eyes closed. Konan grabbed him by the collar. "Already done?" Pitiful. Before she could swim back up, Naruto, who actually wasn't the real Naruto, disappeared from her grasp. Her eyes almost went wide as she felt a presence from behind and a bit of the same bright yellow glow. She saw Naruto charging at her with the Kyuubi's huge fist. He let out a yell as he punched her out of the water, as went flying into the air as she tried to make paper wings, but the blonde didn't stop there. He grabbed Konan by the throat and slammed her down into one of the buildings. She coughed up blood as he jumped down on her and continued to unleash hell on her. Every punch, every kick, she received them all to the gut before he grabbed her by the throat again, lifted her off her feet. She had to admit, for a boy his age, he definitely had the strength of a man in his mid-20s. She tried to break free, but his grip on her tightened. He could snap her neck if he wanted. He looked up at her, his eyes almost filled with remorse. "I didn't want this, Konan," he said. "I never wanted my life like this, but it's like I had no choice." He threw Konan high up, again before one last powerful Kyuubi fist came in contact and sent her far, far away into the tallest building in the Rain Village as he followed. He took out his sword and made his way to where Konan went as he drove the blade deep into the middle of her chest. She let out a loud gasp as she tried to stop herself from screaming. She coughed up more blood as Naruto stood there breathing heavy. She watched as the yellow chakra that was on his body went away. He stood there as he turned his back to her and looked at the smoke from where the water was. He noticed the explosions came to an end as he heard Konan's labored breathing. She looked around and noticed the building she's in is the same building when Toby had told her in pain that Naruto was still alive. At that time, Itachi was still alive. "WL?" she said, and Naruto turned back to her as she coughed a bit. "KK kill me." At this point, she accepted her death. She was surprised that a teen could outsmart her so easily. She heard his heavy footsteps get closer and closer, but instead of taking the sword out of her chest, he put his hand on her shoulder. Alongside Itachi, he started off, "Konan, you have my respect." Her eyes met his dark, empty black eyes as he tried to catch his breath. "I should be dead because of you, but I seem to outsmart death for some reason," he said to her. Konan tried to keep her eyes open so she doesn't pass out and soon die from blood loss. When her head almost fell over, Naruto caught it with his left palm and held her by her chin as they stared into their eyes again. "The least you can do is tell me where Nagato's body is." Konan wanted to shake her head, but didn't have the strength as her breathing almost slowed down. "I know he's here. We both know I won't rest until I find him," Naruto said. Konan couldn't even move a finger. All her energy and chakra had been drained. But she had to agree. She knows that one way or another, the blonde killer was going to get what he wants. She turned her head and looked over at a door and said nothing. Naruto, clearly understanding, took his sword out her chest before he went towards the door and opened it. He noticed a flight of stairs that went down and of course didn't feel like running all the way down. He used Kurama's chakra again to go down the stairs with ease. He landed on his feet and saw another closed door. He slowly opened it to see a big room with nice floors and flowers everywhere. The room was bright as he took a step forward. It seemed so peaceful, quiet. He then saw two people laying lifeless in flowers. He easily recognized the one on the left. "Pain," he whispered to himself, but then noticed something written on the top. "Yahiko." Naruto then put the pieces together. Pain was never his real name. He began to question if these two, including Konan, actually wanted to pursue a peaceful life. He shifted his attention to the one to the right. The man's eyes were open as he lay dead. It almost creeped out Naruto. However, he still had a mission. Naruto got down on his knees and put his fingers on Nagato's right eye. Carefully, he took out the eye. The sound it made sent a tiny bit of shivers down Naruto's spine. He had never done this before and was a bit terrified. He finally then removed the entire eye from Nagato's socket. He held it in his palm carefully and took a deep breath. He can't go back to the leaf and force Shizen to do it again. Nor could he go to any other village to get it done. He had to do it right here and now. He took another deep breath as he puts fingers to his right eye, trapping his eyeball between his thumb and the 4 other fingers. "Don't screw up and go half blind." Baka. Naruto took deep breaths and prepared for the worst. Fuck it. He painfully and quickly removed his eye from his socket and let out a painful scream. His right eye was burning. Blood ran down his cheek as he tried to act fast. "Fucking hell. Shit. Fuck. He tried to calm down as he put the Rinnegan eye in his other palm and used his other fingers to forcefully keep his empty socket open. The pain was unbearable and he almost passed out right there. He wanted to hurry, but he didn't want to speed things up and accidentally crush the eye. He slowly and carefully then inserted the eye into his socket. Once done, he put his palm over his socket to keep it in place, but then he felt his chakra almost drain. He began to feel weak a bit as his breathing became heavy again. He felt like he had just acquired some new power and is coursing throughout his entire body. But soon everything went back to normal, and it didn't last very long. He tried to return his breathing back to normal as he slowly but carefully opened his eye. He blinked a few times and his vision was back to normal. He sighed in relief before he heard footsteps behind him. He turned to see Konan slowly walking towards him. She fell down her knees as Naruto approached her. She laid down against a pillar before reaching in her pocket. Naruto watched as she slowly pulled out a picture and unfolded it. She handed it towards Naruto, and he took a good look at it. In the picture showed Konan, Yahiko, and Nagato smiling joyfully when they were kids. They looked so happy, and judging by the bright background, wherever they were, it was peaceful. He looked back up at Konan with a bit of remorse. We never wanted this either. She told him, we wanted happy lives, peaceful, a world where there was no war or killing. Naruto listened to her last words carefully. She had to say a few more things before she goes on to the next life. I trust Sasuke to fix everything, she said. And why you? Naruto shook his head at her. You know what the outcome will be, Konan? I know, she responded. Which is why Sasuke will prevent it from ever happening. She breathed out. Naruto grabbed one of her hands and held it in both of his hands. Stay with me for just a few seconds, Konan. He tells her, where is Toby? Where is he at? Konan shook her head. His name isn't Toby. Naruto was confused. Then what the hell is his name? He asked, but Konan was quiet. Please, Konan, don't make this harder for Dash. Konan coughed up some blood, and Naruto leaned in closer. Madara, Uchiha. Naruto's eyes widened. There was no way something like this was possible. He heard stories about Madara and his strength, but Madara was so long ago, it's impossible that he should still be alive. He's going to the Five Kage summit tomorrow, Konan told him. Her hand began to slide from Naruto's. Is that all? He asked. But Konan remained quiet, and her eyes grew heavy. Hey, is that all? Did he say anything else? The world became dizzy for Konan as a tear went down her cheek. She almost laughed in joy. She accepted her death because she knows that 3 people would welcome her. Yahiko, Jiraiya-sensei, Nagato, she said as another tear spilled out. Her voice broke as she cried, and then she said her last words and gave out her last breath. I finally get to see you all again. She then closed her eyes as her heartbeat stopped, and Naruto sighed as he put a hand on her shoulder. You can rest now, he told her as he picked her up and carried her to Nagato and Yahiko's body. He placed her in the middle with her hands interlocked with each other. She put the photo above all 3 of them and sighed. He left the room and looked back at their bodies one last time before shutting the door. A few minutes passed by, and he stepped outside to see that the rain has stopped. There was a rainbow in the sky as the sun came out and shined brightly, lighting up the village. Naruto sighed again as he walked away from the empty village. There now remained 3 more Akatsuki members. Zet, Kisame, Toby. I hope you're all ready, because unlike the remorse I have for Itachi and Konan, I will not have an ounce of remorse for the 3 of you. Believe it, Naruto, by now, was at least an hour away from the Rain Village. He felt heavy remorse for Konan. Surely something had to happen to drive her to help the Akatsuki commit the crimes they've done. But more importantly, he couldn't help but feel a bit shaken up. After being told that Toby's real identity is Madara, he for once began to question if he really wanted to do this. But something else is telling him that it's just a fake rumor and that Konan was calling a bluff. But still, if it really is Madara, that would explain his mother and father's death. Someone with so much power beyond anyone in the village would have to control the Kyuubi. Maybe it actually is Madara. No way, kid. I'll be damned if I found out that he was able to control me a second time. But Kurama, that would explain why he's kept a low profile. Do you know what he last looked like? Hell if I know, it's been too damn long. Naruto cursed under his breath before shrugging it off and taking a deep breath. After hearing stories about him, my strength now is probably no match for him. No matter, I'll still kill him at the Five Kage summit. If any of the Five Kages get in my way, I'll kill them too. Dark thoughts then began to fill Naruto's mind as a freakish smile took over. How should I kill him? He said to himself. I want it to be painful, excruciating, yet satisfying. He almost chuckled. Or maybe I should save it for Sasuke, a slow and painful death that way dash. Naruto then stopped talking as his eyes almost widened. He shook his head and ran both of his hands on face. What the hell is wrong with me? He shrugged those dark thoughts away and focused on the main task. Sasuke's POV. Danzo? Sasuke said with a bit of surprise. Shortly after Naruto's identity was revealed, Tsunade had passed out and most likely won't wake up for another day or two. And now recently, he had just been told that a few minutes ago, Danzo had taken her spot as the 6th Hokage, which he wasn't a fan of. Yet complete downgrade if you ask me. Sakura responded. Sasuke, yeah, aren't you worried a little bit? About Naruto? HN. If anything, I'm sure the dope wouldn't go as far as killing his friend. But sure, I'm worried. Sakura nodded. We're going to the Five Kage summit. Who's we? Sasuke responded. Miyu, Kakashi-sensei, Kiba, Lisai, Karen, and Tenten. Sasuke turned away. You should stay, he suggested. Being trained under Tsunade, surely enough, it means that you're soon to at least catch up to her. The village needs you here. Shizen has more experience than me with Tsunade-sama. I'm sure she can hold it down. Sakura responded. Sasuke turned to Sakura. She seemed a bit too calm about everything that's going on. He could tell that the smile on her face was indeed fake. What are your intentions, Sakura? Now that Danzo might know that he's alive, there's no telling if he'll order to have him killed. HN, Sasuke leaned against a building that was in the middle of repairing. We won't let that happen, he assured her. We'll keep close eyes on him at all cost. But then again, we can't harm an elder. Silence took over the two before they noticed their friends heading their way. Sasuke, Sakura, Tenten called out. Kakashi and the others followed along, and Yamato was seen among them too. We're bringing Yamato, considering he told us how well your teamwork with each other was. HN, Sasuke-kun? Karen muttered as she blushed profusely. Tenten put a kunai away as Akamaru came up and stood next to Sasuke and tried licking the raven-haired teen's hand as Kiba turned his head. Clearly, Akamaru has taken more of a liking to you. He muttered. Kakashi-sensei told me everything. Tenten said. Danzo should also be at the Five Kage summit. Chances are that Naruto might be making his way now. Kakashi kept the same expression on his face like he always does. Well, seeing how everything is going now, Naruto won't hesitate fight us, considering he's done it before when we went after Sasuke. I don't know much about this Naruto, guy you all speak of, but if he's that important to you all, I'll do what I must to help bring him back. Sai told them. His chakra wasn't all that good and friendly either. Karen said, keep in mind he's a Jinchuriki too. Kiba said, right? Well, should we get going? Yamato questioned, and everyone nodded. Sasuke, Tenten called out. You said when Naruto was fighting pain, he looked different, and you said you were able to analyze some of his moves. Yeah, just to be safe. Tell us what you saw, so we know what to look out for. Sasuke nodded as they walked further. He noticed Sakura was staring blankly at the ground. He knew that look anywhere, she's either plotting something or she's worried more than she already is. Sakura, don't do something regretful. Sasuke sighed. Well, I guess I'll start from the beginning. Naruto's POV. Naruto had now stepped foot into the land of iron. It was indeed cold here, but not cold enough to slow him down. I should be about 20 minutes away. At this point, Naruto couldn't stand it. He began running towards whatever direction led him to the Kage summit. He wanted to get there at least around the time Madara had gotten there. And if not the same time, then maybe minutes before. It's like his attitude did a 180 and he found himself pissed off entirely. But then again, no one could blame him. Him and Kurama were chasing after the same goal. Madara controlled Kurama, and it costed Naruto's parents' lives. He started picking up the pace. His right eye turned red with a black slit going down in the middle. At this point, anger had taken over. I'm gonna fucking kill him. He muttered. I'm gonna kill every last one of them. Naruto promised himself he would, but What he didn't know was that one of his enemies were watching him. A half-black and half-white plant-like man sunk into the snow slowly as he went to go alarm the leader. Gaara's POV. Gaara sat down in his seat as the other Kages walked in. The look on his face was noticeable for Temari and Kankuro to notice, but they couldn't interfere with the meeting whatsoever. The other Kages sat down in their seats, and it was silence between everyone. The Hokage had an impatient look on his face, and his fingers slightly twitched as if he wanted to hurry and pick a fight. The Mizukage sat calmly in her chair. She didn't look too pleased about the whole situation, but nonetheless kept her patience. The Tsuchikage sat in his chair with a serious look any old man would have. He too tried to keep his patience. And last was the new Hokage, Danzo. He was unreadable. He didn't look upset nor patient with the situation. Gaara questioned to himself if Danzo was taking his new role seriously. But then again, he knew that he couldn't trust Danzo whatsoever. I am Mifune, your moderator. A man, who mostly seemed to be in his late 50s, said, "The Five Kage Summit Conference is called into order." Gaara silently cleared his throat. "I wish to speak first. Hear me out." The Tsuchikage chuckled. "I'm a bit impressed, Lord Kazekage. For a boy your age, it's quite the accomplishment that your father trained you well. Except when it came to proper etiquette." Gaara wasn't too fond with his words, but it wasn't enough to make him angry, just a bit disappointed. "I'll admit, you could be right, but it's the reason I'm Kazekage now. Other than strength, care to explain why you're Tsuchikage?" The old man laughed loudly at Gaara's words. "You certainly are cocky, Lord Tsuchikage. No need to make fun of him. Please continue, Lord Kazekage." The Mizukage said. Gaara nodded. "Well, I consider the Akatsuki to be a very dangerous group. After all, they took my tail beast and it nearly killed me." The meeting carried with Gaara sharing a few words and the Tsuchikage slightly insulting his actions. During this meeting, Danzo started off naming the Jinchurikis who were taken, and when he mentioned the Raikage's brother, the Raikage almost lost it and smashed a table, which caused everyone's assistants to intervene before things could escalate further. But eventually, it all worked out and everyone calmed down and the meeting continued. But it didn't continue peacefully. The Raikage and Tsuchikage began pointing fingers at the other Kages, suspecting that in the previous years, they had something to do with the Akatsuki. This argument resulted in the Mizukage saying that the Akatsuki could have possibly manipulated the fourth Mizukage. It was clear that the Raikage didn't really trust them, but before they could go on any further, Danzo had spoken up again. "If you'll all please listen, there is a statement I've been waiting to make," he told them. Everyone went quiet as they had their suspicions too. Danzo had barely said anything these past minutes. Whatever he had to say, it seemed interesting. "As for the leader of the Akatsuki, I've come to a conclusion that it could be none other than Madara Uchiha." Sasuke's POV. Sasuke and the others had made it into the Land of Iron and are about maybe 10 minutes away from the summit. The whole trip was an uncomfortable silence, mostly being aware of the Akatsuki or Naruto. Sasuke would look over at Sakura from time to time and could tell something was bothering her. Not to mention, she's in the far back. This doesn't take a blind man to even figure out that something is up. Kakashi also took notice to this and began to stay behind and talk to Sakura. Whispers came from the two, and Sasuke couldn't really make anything of it. On top of that, isn't the snow just so amazing, Sasuke-kun? Karen asked with a blush. Perhaps maybe we could have a snowball fight? Or maybe make snow angels? Silence was all Karen received as Sasuke looked around carefully, observing everything ahead of him. Sasuke-kun, she repeated as she clung to his arm. Her glasses pushed aside a bit as she reached up and poked his cheek. Sasuke-kun, she dragged out. Tenten and Kiba watched in a bit of disgust as they cringed at the poor sight of Karen trying to catch the boy's attention. Sasuke dash. Urusai. He finally responded. You prove useful for this mission because you can sense chakra from a good distance. Back off. Karen pouted. Well, fine if that's how it is. I'll just ignore you, she said, crossing her arms. Thank Kami. But then again, how could I ever ignore you? She said as she blushed again. Sasuke moved away from her, not wanting to deal with her any longer. He looked up in the sky and saw Sai on the hawk he painted. Both him and Karen have the advantage at looking out for others, and so did Kiba and Akamaru, with both their noses. Kakashi came up and put a hand on Sasuke's shoulder. Sasuke, a quick word. He told them as everyone walked ahead of them. Everyone except Sakura. She looked down at the snowy ground, almost covering her face with the scarf she had on. Sakura? You want to tell him? Kakashi asked. Tell me what? Sakura didn't even look at Sasuke for a split second. She was definitely hiding something. Sakura, tell me what? As soon as his words left his mouth, he heard Sakura sniffle as a single tear rolled down her cheek. She closed both her eyes to keep the tears from spilling out, but it was no use. They slowly began slipping out. Kakashi turned towards Sasuke, and the both of them made eye contact. Sakura plans on killing Naruto. Kakashi told him. Sasuke almost stopped in his tracks as he slightly gasped. His eyes almost widened at the information. Sakura, is that true? It's not just her either, Sasuke. Kakashi spoke again. The others back at the village have also agreed. Everyone except Hinata and I. Sakura slightly whimpered as she sniffled again. Sasuke walked up to her and stopped her in her tracks as he puts both his hands on her shoulder. Sakura, why? He asked in a cold tone. After all those memories we've shared, why? His voice was heard by the others as they stopped too. Sasuke turned to them all and shouted at them too. Ten, Kiba, are you seriously going to agree on killing Naruto? He said as he stomped over to them. Naruto is our friend. He's the reason why I'm still a part of the Leaf. And he's also the reason why he's in the bingo book. Kiba reasoned. Ten stepped over to him. Sasuke, I'm sorry, but Dash, what the hell is wrong with you all? Sasuke shouted. Naruto's done so much for us. He saved the village alongside the third Hokage. He did so much when people doubted him. He's Dash. He's killed people, Sasuke. He's killed without remorse. He abandoned us. Kiba shouted back. He was alive this entire time, yet he never returned to us. The tears we've shed were all for nothing when he died. Ten spoke up this time. He's right, Sasuke. Naruto, the Naruto we knew, is long gone. This side of Sasuke was indeed scary. He was always calm and never really showed emotion, so it was hard to read him at times. But he was angry and upset with everyone as he turned back to Sakura, who was still staring at the ground. Are you all forgetting? He raised his voice again. Did you all forget the good things he's done? The encouragement he gave you all? You're all focused on the present that you won't even bother to think back on the memories we've shared with Naruto. He walked over to Sakura and puts both his hands on her shoulders. Why? Did you seriously forget he was a part of Team 7? Oh, of course not. Sakura cried out. Then why? Explain, Dash. Because he's suffered enough. Sakura looked up at Sasuke. The tears continued to spill out as they fell down her cheeks and into the snow. He's been through a lot. I don't know what it's like not having any parents like you and him do. But damn it, when I saw him in that casket, I didn't know how to carry on with that burden. Sakura's voice broke as she spoke. Her legs almost gave out as her emotions took over. But when I saw him fighting pain, I felt so happy knowing that he was still alive. It was hard to believe, but now, when he left us again, I then realized something. She continued. I realized that Naruto isn't there anymore, not the Naruto we knew. Akamaru whined as Kiba pets him as Ten frowns. I just want this all to end. I don't want things to get any worse than it already is. It was silence between everyone. The soft sniffles from Sakura was the only thing being heard. Sasuke shook his head and sighed. I'm bringing the dough back, even if it cost me my life. If you all want to be cowards and hide instead of facing him, you're even worse than he is right now. Sasuke responded. A gasp was heard from Karen as she pushed her glasses up a bit. Karen, what's up? Yamato asked. I sense chakra up ahead. It's the same one I sensed when pain invaded the village, she said as she turned back to everyone with worried faces. It's Naruto. He's headed towards the meeting. Kiba cursed under his breath as Sasuke turned back to Sakura one last time, but looked away. T-Sage, let's move out now. I'm not letting this opportunity go to waste, he said as he rushed towards the same direction on the summit as everyone else followed. Sakura, are you okay? Kakashi asked her as she wiped her tears and took a deep, shaky breath. I'm fine. If you want, you can stay out the building and keep a lookout for Dash. I said I'm fine. Kakashi was about to speak again, but kept quiet as Sakura ran on ahead, and he soon followed her into a tough battle that awaits. Gaara's POV. Lord Hokage, I ask that you show us your right eye under the bandage, one of the Mizuki's guardians said. I believe that you transplanted Shursui Uchiha's eye into yours. Gaara looked at the man confused. He's never of this Shursui Uchiha guy, but if it's important during the meeting, it's best he listens closely. The Mizukage rose an eyebrow. The man who was praised alongside Itachi Uchiha in the use of the ocular jutsu? Correct. The Raikage stood up impatiently and turned towards Danzo. Everyone in the room looked at him for answers too. That jutsu, it allowed Shursui to enter others' minds and manipulate them. With the opponent unaware of being manipulated, it was an ocular jutsu of the highest degree. The Guardian said. Gaara finally began to put the pieces together on why he found Danzo suspicious. But not only this was bothering, he felt as if something bad was heading their way. Everyone noticed some veins on the Mizukage Guardian right eye. You cannot fool my eye, which undid the Jinjutsu cast upon the fourth Mizukage. The Raikage unexpectedly slammed his fist against the already broken table. When he opened his mouth to speak, something began to appear from the ground in the middle of the floor. All the Kages became alert and quickly got off their chairs as their guardians came down to protect him. Temari and Kankuro guarded Gaara carefully as a man who was pale white, with yellow eyes and a plant-like thing surrounding him. The enemy had a big smile on his face. Hello! He cheered loudly. Another damn problem. Raikage yelled. Akatsuki. Danzo said. Temari, Kankuro, stay on your guard. Gaara told them. Oh, better act fast. Naruto Uzumaki has snuck right in. The weird man said mockingly. Gaara and his team's eyes almost widened. Naruto? Now, where could the fellow Uzumaki be hiding? I wonder where? The man cheered. Everyone got alert. And Naruto Uzumaki? The Raikage shouted. The boy who defeated Pain? The strongest Akatsuki member? The Mizukage said worriedly. Not only that, but he's the boy who's the reason the Akatsuki are dropping like flies. Tsuchikage-sama. Who is he? One of the Guardians asked. Danzo spoke for him. A Jinchuriki. He possesses the Kyuubi. Come on, join the fun. Let's all go find Naruto. Naruto's POV. That fucking bastard. As if I wasn't already pissed off, the samurai guardians scattered, looking for the blonde. But he stepped out and showed himself instead, not caring one bit. Most of them noticed him and pointed him out as they all drew their weapons. I will only give you all one warning to stand down. I'm already pissed off, so I won't hesitate to paint this entire room red, you know. He warned. Fool! We won't stand down so easily. One of the samurai began to send an attack Naruto's way, which made the boy glow a bright yellow as Kurama's hand repelled the attack, which shocked his opponents. Have it your way then. Naruto held out both his hands, and suddenly his opponents began to levitate his way. When in clear view, he made a Rasen Shuriken and threw it, slicing the bodies in two as he smirked. To think I'd start off pretty good with Rinnegan. More samurai began heading his way, and the blonde sighed. Such a nuisance. Gaara's POV. The Raikage killed off the plant-like man that appeared from the ground and remained in the room. Oi, surely enough this Naruto guy isn't after us, right? A guardian asked. Can't be too sure. Keep your eyes peeled just in case. A spinning vortex began to show up in the room, and out came a masked man with swirls on his mask. He stood over everyone in the room. If you wish for things to not escalate any further, you'll remain where you are now. He said, my name's Madara Uchiha, and there's something I wish to explain to you all. Then start talking. The Raikage said. Madara sat down as a Sharingan, in the eye hole, flared for everyone to see. It's about my plan, Project Tsukinomi. Now dash. The Raikage, not having any patience, went in for a fast punch on Madara, but he went right through him, as if he was a ghost, and broke the wall from behind. That surprised everyone as Madara was still seated calmly, as if nothing happened. I did not come here to fight. Now, you will listen to what I say. Make the same mistake again, you'll face consequences. The Raikage slowly backed up as his guardians got in front of him with furrowed eyebrows. Now, Tsukinome, Sasuke's POV. I sense multiple chakra. We've made it, Karen called out. Indeed they did. The building was just a few feet away. Stick together, everyone. Tintin, Karen, Kiba, you all go with Yamato. The rest stay with me, Kakashi ordered. Find Naruto quick. Yes, sir. And they all split up. Sai, Sakura, and Sasuke remained with Kakashi. They went in from the entrance and already saw a few dead bodies. But when they moved further inside, It was a horrific sight. "Oh my god," Sakura said as she covered her mouth. Blood seemed to be everywhere as bodies were scattered. A few samurai guards were slowly bleeding out to death. They all heard what sounded like the Kyuubi's roar as it echoed in the building. It made Sai and the others, except Sasuke, slightly jump as their eyes went wide. "Naruto, guys, stairs," Sai pointed out. "All right, here's the plan dash." Sasuke ignored Kakashi and ran towards the stairs. "Wait, Sasuke." Sakura followed along, and it left Sai and Kakashi no choice but to follow ahead. "Stop this," Sasuke muttered. "No more of this." Sasuke activated his Sharingan and started to speed up his pace. "No more of this, Naruto." Gaara's POV. Madara had finished explaining his Tsuki no Mi plan. Madara found it as a way of brining peace to the world. And in order for this plan to work, they'd need all the Jinchurikis, which they almost had all. He also explained how there was a 10 tails and how it would need a user to become its Jinchuriki. Madara will become that Jinchuriki. If the Kages had realized sooner that that was the Akatsuki's intention, they would have probably had this out of the way. But seeing how Madara is still alive, they need more than just strategy to end this. Naruto Uzumaki can prove useful for this plan as well, but seeing how he's in the bingo book, surely enough, none of you would care to help him out. Even if he wants nothing to do with you. Madara said, "I could have killed that brat long ago, but I saw potential in him. Or so I thought, but if the plan with him turns out bad, then I got another." Gaara stood up in front of everyone. "I will not hand over Naruto to you. You won't take my little brother either." The Raikage answered, "Have it your way then." Madara told them, "I then Harbi declare the fourth great ninja dash." Suddenly a dead body came flying in and crashed against the wall, startling everyone in the room except Madara. The bloodied body slumped down slowly onto the floor in a horrific view. A voice filled their ears. A familiar voice to Gaara. Everyone turned their heads to see a dark, empty hallway, but they saw blood drip down onto the floor. The steps got closer, and soon appeared Naruto, his clothes covered in blood and a bit on his face as he breathed heavily. "Naruto Uzumaki," Madara said as he smirked behind his mask. Naruto's head shot up. Fire was in his eyes as he quickly pulled out his sword. "You'll pay for what you did to my parents," he roared as he went in for the kill, but Sand sent him back. Gaara looked at his blonde friend, almost frightened. "Naruto, stop," Madara scoffed. "Brat, you're simply not ready," he told him. "All 5 Kages, mind doing my dirty work? If so, don't go too easy on him." And Madara disappeared into a spinning vortex as Naruto slowly got back up. Gaara's attention was on the boy as he tried to speak. "Naruto dash. Gaara, you idiot," he grumbled. The blonde's head shot up again as his sharp canines began to show and his whiskers got thicker. "You fucking bastard." Naruto went in for a full kill on Gaara, but a kick to the gut from the Raikage sent him back. Danzo approached the boy and took out his own sword and held it to Naruto's head. "You've made the job easy for me, demon brat," Danzo told him. The man tried to execute the boy, but Gaara sent Danzo back a few feet with some sand. The elder, not wanting to make this harder, began to flee alongside his guardians. "Hokage-sama." Naruto got back up and began laughing at the whole situation. He laughed so hard he almost began coughing. "Since Itachi couldn't finish the job before, I'll do it for him." The boy got back up and turned towards everyone. "I wasn't initially planning on fighting you all," Naruto responded as he held a tight grip on his sword. "But I did say that I'd kill anyone who gets in my way. Right, Kurama?" What are you waiting for then?" "Baka." Naruto rushed in on another kill against Gaara, but Kankuro and Temari got in front of him and barely stopped him. "Naruto, snap out of it." Naruto ignored them and simply kicked them away as more sand from Gaara sent him back, but the blonde broke free of it easily. Ignoring his attention on the boy for now, he turned to the Mizukage instead and shot her an evil glare. "Mizukage-sama, stand back," her guardian with glasses and a huge sword said. Naruto chuckled. "You'd actually risk your life for this hag?" he mocked. The Mizukage smiled, but on the inside, she was slightly angry at that comment Naruto made as the guardian stood in front of her. "I, Chojuro, will throw my life away as long as Mizukage-sama stays safe." Without hesitation, he said as he attacked Naruto. The blonde simply dodged it. The Mizukage smirked. "Everyone, spread across the building and see if any remaining Akatsuki members are here. I'll deal with the brat. The other Kages felt hesitant, but either way left. May be careful, the other guardian said as he left with the other Kages and guardians. Gaara stayed. You're going to need all the help you can get, he said. You sure are cocky, young one, she remarked. Chojuro, stand down. I'll handle this. Naruto was sent back through a wall and into a hallway where the Mizukage soon joined him in. Before Naruto could even react, lava appeared and blocked off all the entrances. He heard a soft chuckle as he turned back around. It's just the two of us now, Mei told him. Naruto eyed her. I wouldn't interfere, he warned, but all he got was another chuckle. Naruto, Uzumaki. She started off. Being this close up, I must say, you are quite a handsome boy to be starting up this much trouble. She smirked as she wiped lava off the side of her lips. Naruto eyed her. Lava is impressive. I've only come across fire jutsus like Itachi and Sasuke used. You should be interesting. Mei began to do some hand signs as the conversation carried out. I actually posse's 3 chakra natures: fire, water, and earth. Therefore, I posse's 2 Kekkei Genkai. The hallway began to get foggy, but it was nothing to Naruto. I've fought Zabuza and his partner Haku in fog before. This is nothing, believe it, he told her, but he was wrong about it. His skin began to slightly burn as his arm turned red and silently winced in pain. It breaks my heart seeing handsome man melt in front of my eyes, but seeing how you're Kazekage-sama's friend, I won't kill you, Mei told him. Naruto smirked. I have no friends, just enemies, so not killing me is going to be your first mistake. Kurama, help me take care of this old hag. After this, we're getting out of here. Sounds good. Can't say I didn't warn you. Naruto began to glow a very bright yellow as held out his hand, and the Mizukage felt herself being levitated towards him. Shock appeared on her face as Naruto grabbed her by the throat and slammed her against the ground. Kurama's hand emerged from the boy and grabbed the woman before driving her through the wall. A huge hole there as his enemy fell against the wall. Naruto entered in and immediately grabbed Chojuro and laughed in his face. What else would you do for your precious Mizukage, Not giving the boy a chance to answer, he kicked him towards the lady and was going to go in for the kill, but sand appeared in Naruto's face. Do you really want to do this, Gaara? He asked in a warning tone. As much as I consider you a friend, I'm afraid I must, he responded. Though your power may be stronger than mine, I will do whatever means necessary to slow you down. I won't hold back. Indeed, he told the truth. Naruto didn't even give Gaara a chance to blink as he used some of Kurama's strength to fight him. The helpless boy was soon left on the floor with a broken finger and a bloody nose. You're not worth my time, and killing you won't satisfy me enough, Naruto said. It wasn't long before Kurama had figured out where Danzo was, making the blonde smirk freakishly. Oh, Danzo, where could you possibly be? He mocked. Sasuke's POV. Naruto! Sasuke yelled again as his group had finally made it to the meeting room. But what they saw was crazy. Gaara! Sakura called out. She ran over to him, and luckily the boy was still conscious. Sakura, he's fine, just a few injuries, nothing life-threatening, Sakura informed. Sasuke looked around the room and saw Kakashi approach the Mizukage and Chojuro. Mizukage-sama, what happened? He asked as he helped her stand up. That brat! She groaned as she held her head in pain. Naruto, Gaara said as he stood back up. He's gone now, I don't know where he went, but he can't be far. Sakura got alert and turned to Sai. Sai, come on, she told him. One of Sai's drawings, a hawk, appeared by the broken window and the two of them jumped on it. Wait, Sakura, Sasuke called out, but the girl didn't listen as her, and Sai flew off. Sasuke cursed under his breath as more footsteps approached. Kakashi, they both turned their heads to see Yamato's group head inside with a bit of shock on their faces. Naruto isn't here, Tenten said. Sasuke turned away from them. I know, he responded. Where's Sai and Sakura? Those two dumbass went after Naruto. They're actually going to try and kill him. I'm sure they'll finish the job, Kiba responded. Sasuke, losing his patience, walked towards Kiba and grabbed him by the collar and slammed him against the wall. Sasuke, Tenten shrieked. What the fu dash? Shut up and listen, Sasuke told him with gritted teeth. Take a look around you. Naruto did this. He beat both the Mizukage and Gaara. What makes you think Sai and Sakura stand a chance? His grip on the boy lightened as Kiba fell to his knees on the ground with Akamaru growling at Sasuke. Kakashi-sensei, I'm going after them. I can't lose anyone on this team. He told them and jumped out the hole. Kakashi-sensei. Tenten spoke up. We'll do whatever you think is right. Well, first, Sasuke is right. We lose anyone on this team, it's a burden him, and I will have to carry forever. Kakashi told him. He turned to them and signaled them. Gaara, if possible, keep things occupied here. Everyone else, let's go get Naruto. He ordered before they all began to follow his lead. Naruto's POV. Naruto came across a bridge and saw Danzo and his men there. One of them sensed something was up and turned to him. Hokage-sama. Someone dash. Before they knew it, a blade went through the man as Naruto appeared in front of the other at very fast speed with a Rinnegan in his right palm. The man gasped, but before he could react, Naruto had already driven the jutsu into his heart, instantly killing the man right there. Naruto grabbed his sword from the other dead guy's body and jumped a great distance from Danzo. The elder stood there with no emotion as he opened his one visible eye and looked at Naruto. All this killing. What do you think you'll gain from all this? Danzo questioned. Really think you should be asking that? After what happened to the Uchiha clan? Naruto said, if anything, their blood are on your hands. They should have never been on Itachi's. Danzo narrowed his eyes. I see Itachi told you everything before his death. If anything, I stopped what was to come. If you truly stopped it, then why is Madara still alive? Naruto put his sword on his back as the conversation continued. And then all of a sudden you're Hokage? As if you deserve it. He told him, I'm doing what Tsunade-sama couldn't do. The village is in shambles because she can't properly lead those people. Yeah, well, Bachan sure as hell wouldn't be selfish either, though she is to blame for Pervy Sage's death. But don't worry, right now, no one will even know you existed. Naruto told him as took a few steps forward. I'm going to do what Itachi or anyone else should have done long ago. I'm not only killing you because you'll get in my way. Naruto's Sharingan activated as he smirked. I'm also killing you because it will sure be enjoyable and make me feel so damn good. Believe it, even if you do kill me, surely enough, the elders back at the Leaf will make sure you end up dead. Danzo informed Naruto. Naruto paced back and forth as he watched Danzo remove his bandages to reveal a horrific sight. It was like his right arm was decomposing little by little, but what made it more disturbing were the Sharingan eyes he had transplanted in his arms. The eyes began to look around, which made Naruto stay alert. With this many eyes, there's no telling how strong Danzo could be. I know, but I don't plan on dying until I kill the Akatsuki and Sasuke at least. Naruto told him, seeing how you have the Rinnegan, this fight of ours will probably take a while. As long as you die, I'm not walking away. Naruto smirked as he glowed a bright yellow. But a large Kurama hand grabbed Danzo and kept a tight grip on the man and brought him face to face with Naruto. What do you think will happen if I were to tell Sasuke that Itachi slaughtered the Uchiha clan under your orders? Naruto's grip tightened on the elderly man's body to the point where one more squeeze could kill him. How would he feel about the Leaf and the other elders? HM? Naruto smirked. IH had to M. Me and Itachi both knew W. What would happen if we didn't? Seems to me you were scared of the Uchiha, but you admired their power. After all, I can tell from your arm. E. Even if you do kill me, T. The other elders won't let you get away. A. And they'll kill you. T. To make up for your parents' shortened lives given up to a dash. Naruto squeezed the man to the point his entire body bursted and blood flew everywhere. He looked down as he stared at the ground. He knew Danzo wasn't dead. No way someone like him would die that quick. Kit, I know. Naruto sensed his enemy from behind, and he lifted his head from the ground. Mention my mother and father again. He started as he turned back around to see Danzo standing there. I'll do even worse than just kill you. Danzo stands there unfazed by the boy's words. I'll admit, this fight will be tough, considering your Jinchuriki. But I've been through worse, he told the boy. I'll do what the village should have done a long time ago. Naruto eyed the elder before breaking into laughter, as if the words that had left Danzo's mouth were nothing. His laughter almost grew loud to the point it would echo, but his laughter ceased, and all that was left was a huge grin on his face. You'll kill me? Seriously? Naruto chuckled. Moron, please be my guest. A smirk made its way on Naruto's face as Danzo began to make the first move. Excitement spreads across Naruto's body as he watched Danzo circle around him. The blonde's fingers began to twitch as he chuckled. The elderly man stopped before weaving a few hand signs behind Naruto before inhaling deeply. It was then that Naruto saw blades heading towards him that would be almost impossible to spot. One of the blades left a few scratch marks, one being underneath the eye of the Rinnegan. They would heal over time, thanks to Kurama, so it's no big deal. The blonde stood his ground regardless with a slight smirk as Danzo squinted his eyes. He looks a lot like his father, but seeing him at the summit, he's got his mother's temper. Danzo thought, "It's gonna take more than blades to take me down." Naruto told him. Danzo weaved more hand signs as he inhaled sharp and deeply. Wind style, vacuum blast, bastard. Naruto mumbled as he took out his sword to deflect one of the blades he saw coming towards him. I already told you to dash. When the blonde tried to deflect one of the shuriken blades, it cut clean, right through his sword. His eyes widened a bit as another one came coming towards him. He barely dodged it as he watched it cut through a huge rock behind him. Just what the hell kind of shurikens are these? Naruto looked back down as his sword, the blade of sword, was cut, but it wasn't cut too short, so it still had some use. He shifted his attention back to his enemy. Danzo held more shurikens as he blew onto them, and they all came towards Naruto. Naruto dodged all of them easily this time before he held out his hand towards Danzo. The elderly man felt a lot of force bringing him towards the blonde. In less than a second, Danzo was being held by the throat tightly as he looked into the eyes of Naruto. He saw the bloodlust in them before he used his arm to grab onto the blonde's throat, but it would take way more than that to slow him down. He watched as Danzo went limp before dropping him onto the ground. He watched, and in a few seconds, Danzo's body had suddenly disappeared. I see. Naruto slowly turned around to see Danzo on one of the pillars, his eyes squinted. The yellow glow that surrounded Naruto went away. Those eyes on your arms, Naruto said. They seem to shut every time you escape death. Quite amusing, but then again dash. When Naruto tried to charge at Danzo once more, he had felt paralyzed. His body was completely frozen. He couldn't even move a finger, nor could he even move a centimeter. What the hell is this? Thick black marks began to crawl up the blonde's body, from his feet all the way to his face. It was almost like Orochimaru's curse mark that he had left on Sasuke. Bastard, Naruto growled as he tried his hardest to move. Danzo dropped from the pillar and stood in front of Naruto, his hand reaching for his sword. Seems like you're catching up on my ability, Danzo said. However, you were too late to even carry out your vengeance, and therefore must die. Naruto watched as Danzo's raised the sword so he could swing it down on the blonde. I would say sorry, but I'm simply not, Danzo said. I guess it's your time to shine. Before Danzo could kill Naruto, the blonde's right pupil turned red, and so did the pupil in his Rinnegan eye. Kurama. This made Danzo stop as he heard the scream roar out from Naruto. Red chakra began to form around him, and his whiskers grew more thicker as his teeth got sharper. Judgment Day is upon you, Danzo. How many tails do you think you can handle? Naruto asked as Danzo jumped back. Let's go 4-4. His body had begun to transform. It was clear that the Kurama had taken over, and now the tails went from 1 to 2 to 3 and then 4. A loud roar echoed and filled Danzo's ears. In less than a second, the QB moved freely and wasted no time charging towards Danzo. Sakura's POV. Sakura's eyes grew wide as sweat trickled down from her forehead to her chin, and down it fell to the grass below her. Sakura. Was that? Sai had trailed off. Sakura swallowed thickly as Sai guided the painted eagle towards their location. Naruto, what's happened to you? Flashback. Sakura-chan, her fellow blonde teammate whined. How are you so good at this? And I'm not. Naruto sat down and pouted as Sakura sat on the tree. She grinned down at Sasuke and Naruto, who were having a very rough time trying to get up their own trees. She watched Kakashi take out his usual orange book and walk away. Well, have it at Sasuke and Naruto. I'm gonna have a quick talk with Dash. Wait, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto called out. Any advice? I mean, come on. How is Sakura able to do this and not me? Naruto stood there puzzled as Kakashi turned around and stared down at the boy. Simple. She has better chakra control. And just like that, Kakashi was gone as Naruto stood there even more puzzled. You say that as if I was supposed to know that at first. Naruto grumbled. HN, sulking won't do you any good, though. As if you've gotten more than 5 steps up on the tree, team. Naruto shouted back. HN was all Sasuke responded with before continuing the training. Sakura giggled at the two before jumping down and stretching as she watched Naruto run back up the tree, only to fall back down to the ground. Damn it, she heard him say as he rubbed the back of his head. Naruto looked all the way up and grumbled. TSH, why do these trees have to be so big? He mumbled as he got back up. He heard footsteps behind him and watched as Sakura ran up the tree with ease. Wow, this is easier than I thought. She mumbled to herself. Hey! She almost jumped at the sudden outburst from Naruto and looked down to see him sulking. Shut up, Sasuke said. Naruto turned his back to Sasuke before continuing the training as Sakura watched. The training went on for an hour, with Sasuke and Naruto making little progress. Sakura sat down against the tree, breathing heavily. I am exhausted, she said as she wiped some sweat off her forehead and closed her eyes. Hey! Sakura-chan? She opened her eyes again to see Naruto sitting beside her. He was covered in dirt from how hard he was trying. Huh? Naruto. He leaned into her and began to whisper. I was wondering, could you give me a few tips? He asked. Let's keep it between me and you only, okay? Sakura looked behind Naruto and saw Sasuke staring at them, possibly wanting to hear what they were about to talk about. Well, sure, I guess. Sakura responded. Naruto did one his happy dances on the inside, but on the outside, try to keep it professional. Well, I've been seeing that you've been getting really impatient during this training. Try to feel a good vibe when controlling your chakra, and also, don't try to rush it. I know that made difficult for you. And lastly, Naruto's stomach loudly growled as his eyes almost grew wide before blushing in embarrassment. He lightly chuckled. Probably should have asked the old man to let me leave with a couple of bowls of ramen, he said as Sakura's sweat dropped. Now that you mention it, I'm a bit hungry too. I think I might head back, she told him. Naruto stood up tall and looked up at the tree. All right, I'll take your advice, Sakura, he said cheerfully. If I can't even accomplish tree climbing, how can I ever become Hokage? Now that I think about it, that was simple advice. Don't push yourself too far, Naruto, Sakura said. After the bell test, I know how you are when you're hungry. Naruto chuckled and turned to her. What's the worst that could happen? Me going on a murder spree for ramen? He joked. That sounds like you if I had a nightmare about you, Sakura responded. All right, Naruto cheered. Thanks for the tip, Sakura. Glad to have you as my partner more than anything, he said. Good luck. Sakura slightly smiled. And watch, once I'm done with this stupid tree climbing, I'll do even more tough things and work harder and harder to become Hokage. Believe it, Sakura sighed. Yeah, she responded before mumbling under her breath. We'll see if the day comes or not. Flashback end. Sakura. Hey, Sakura. Sai called out as Sakura snapped out of her thoughts and looked back at him. Sai, we're here. Is that Naruto down there? Sakura looked down and saw 2 figures below, completely surrounded by broken parts of the bridge. And Naruto, hurry, Sakura. I'll take cover. If the plan fails, I got your back. Yeah. Sure. Thanks, Sakura said, her voice cracking a bit before inhaling deeply. She jumped down and landed safely on her feet as she watched Sai go and take cover. She hid her kunai in her sleeve as she ran over towards Naruto. This is it. I have to do this. It felt like everything was in slow motion for Sakura as she ran towards the blonde. I have to end his suffering, his pain, his actions. I don't want Naruto to become far more worse than he is. She got closer and closer to him as her heart began beating rapidly. Naruto, I'm sorry. Finally, she had stopped in her tracks to catch her breath. Every inhale and exhale made her more prepared, and she finally took a deep breath before calling his name. Naruto! She stared at her former teammate. He still has his back turned to her as he stared at the ground. She watched as he slowly lifted his head and looked up at the sky. I recognized that voice anywhere. She heard him say. She noticed that he had blood on his cloak, his sword, and even his hands. Sakura, hearing her name leaving his mouth, brought chills down her spine, but nonetheless kept her composure. Out of all the people, Why are you here? Sakura stared at him, puzzled, as he slowly turned around. Is it because we were once teammates that you think you can somehow convince me? Or because now you're so obsessed with me after your crush on Sasuke didn't turn out how you planned it? Naruto fully turned around, and what Sakura saw was the most horrific thing she could have ever witnessed from him. Blood was splattered a bit on his clothes, but his sword was covered in complete fresh blood. She finally noticed that below Naruto laid a lifeless Danzo. Naruto's foot was on the man's back. Don't look at this bastard, he's as good as dead, Naruto said as he leaned down and slapped Danzo's face lightly. Answer me, Sakura. Right fucking now, he ordered. Sakura was almost at a loss for words, but swallowed thickly. I came to help you. She lied, and Naruto raised an eyebrow. Oh, help me, you say? This. Naruto stepped forward, making sure to kick dust towards Danzo's body first. Does that require your friend back there too? Sakura's eyes grew wide as she turned over to Sai, who had a shocked face as well. Don't worry, I won't kill him. I hardly even know the guy, and he looks like he wouldn't put up much of a fight anyway, Naruto told her. Naruto finally stood face to face in front of Sakura to the point she could hear him breathing hard. Sakura was at a loss for words as Naruto stared down on her. Why? She repeated as she slowly moved the kunai down her sleeve while trying to not make it obvious. Why, you're a monster, she whispered. Funny, you called me that when I brought Sasuke back too, he said. Sakura's eyes grew more wide as she looked deep into Naruto's colorless eyes. She looked down at the ground, not wanting to see his face much longer. Sakura, look at me, he told her. Look at the monster in front of you. Sakura did not listen as Naruto repeated it over and over again. But no matter how many times he repeated, Sakura would not listen. It was silence as Sakura got the kunai ready, but once she was about to strike, she heard what sounded like crying coming from Naruto. She immediately looked up and saw that tears were streaming down Naruto's face. Their gazes met, and Sakura looked at him worriedly. And Naruto, I can't stop, Naruto whispered to her as tears continued to stream down his face. I don't know what's wrong with me, Sakura. I don't know what to do. Sakura looked up at Naruto, and tears began to fill her eyes as well. I never wanted this, Sakura. But, there's nothing I can do, he said, crying. Why? You were right back then. Soon tears began to pour down Sakura's face too. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. She only came to kill Naruto, but now she couldn't bring herself to do it. I have no one. Sakura. Why did things turn out this way? Why did my parents? He choked on his words as he sniffled. Naruto, Sakura whispered as she let out all her emotions. Sakura, what do I do? I'm lost, he said. I thought I had found an answer, but I was wrong. I'm just a monster, he said. Naruto reached out and put his hand on Sakura's cheek and brushed along her tears. He looked at her face for a split second before looking down at the ground. Sakura, he whispered. Do you fear me? He said as his cries continued. Sakura's tears had let loose as she shook her head. You're my friend. I could never fear you, Naruto, she whispered as she cried into his palm. But in a mere second, Naruto's crying has ceased, and he looked back at Sakura. Sakura suddenly felt his hand grab at her throat as she struggled for air. You should. Naruto reached for his sword and held it tightly as he tried to drive it into Sakura. Sakura, Sai called out. Dragon's scattering destruction. A feminine voice called out, and from the corner of his eye, Naruto saw kunais come flying towards him. He backed away and dodged them as Sakura was picked up by somebody. Sasuke? She said as Sasuke backed away from Tintin's jutsu quick. They got some distance from Naruto, and Sasuke set Sakura down. She watched as the rest of her teammates, Kakashi-sensei and Captain Yamato, came in as well. Why, you all dash. Everyone, stay on guard, Yamato ordered. Sakura, are you hurt? Kakashi asked. And no, she said. Sasuke. They all heard Naruto say. Everyone watched as Naruto slowly turned his head towards them. If looks could kill, they would all be dead. Naruto looked more pissed than ever. Naruto's POV. Sasuke. He repeated again. Sasuke, 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 Sasuke. Never did I think I'd see you here. He smiled. Unexpectedly, Sasuke rushed towards the blonde. Sasuke, stop. Kakashi tried to call out. Lightning appeared in Sasuke's left hand, and Naruto smirked as he made a Rinnegan and ran towards his rival. Chidori, Rinnegan. The two jutsus collided, and just like before, the big explosion happened. No one knows why Sasuke did it, nor did they want to question him. But right now, Kakashi was making sure that one of his students was okay after dodging her doom. It looked as if he was really trying to kill her. Kakashi had no doubt in his mind about that. If it wasn't for Tenten and the help of Karen's chakra senses, Sakura would have been dead. Naruto, you're certainly far different. Smoke filled the air as Sasuke was sent back to his team. His breathing was heavy as he eyes towards the smoke. Naruto also got sent back, but once he did, he immediately started grinning. He sighed loudly, as if he just had the best, overwhelming stretch of his life. Damn, how long has it been since we last did that, Sasuke? He called out from behind the smoke. Of course, last time was much more intense. He stepped forward and showed himself once again. Kiba and Tenten had gotten in a fighting stance, which did not faze Naruto at all. You all followed me, even after the warning I gave you, he told them. Unfortunately for you, I'm not leaving this area until someone's limbs are broken. Preferably yours, Sasuke. Sasuke stepped in front of everyone, but still kept a distance from Naruto. Make your move, Naruto told them. But everyone stood their ground and was ready for whatever attack Naruto was going to throw their way. What the hell happened to you, dope? Sasuke questioned as he eyed Danzo's body on the ground. This is who I'm truly meant to be, Sasuke. Naruto looked down at his hands. They were stained with dirt, blood, and scars. I'm no longer that kid who gave people another chances no matter how bad they were. There are people in this world who deserve death, such as Danzo or Pain, and now looking back on it, maybe Zabuza also deserved Dash. You're wrong. Sasuke raised his voice. Killing won't bring any sort of satisfaction, nor will it make you feel better, Dash. Oh, but it has. Naruto interrupted. And I'd do it over and over again if I had to. Though, I do feel remorse for two people. Naruto looked up at the sky and inhaled deeply as he closed his eyes. The fresh air filled his nose and into his lungs. Finally, I feel free, he told them. Free from all the torment, pain, and suffering the village caused me. That none of senseis, nor the third Hokage, tried to even stop. The blonde began pacing back and forth as he eyed Sasuke. You think you're the hero because you killed Itachi? You really believe that Itachi was the cause of your suffering? Well, newsflash, you are way off. The man responsible is this dead asshole on the ground. Naruto shouted as he pointed towards Danzo. Sasuke's eyes almost widened. So if anything, you are the villain. The lost little brother who pointlessly killed Itachi. All because of a misunderstanding. How fucking pitiful. Naruto stopped Dash. Sakura pleaded, but it was no use. You think just because your clan died, you deserve to be treated all high and mighty and have me lick the bottom of your boot? Naruto, please, Dash. No. You probably kept telling yourself that you were better than anyone else. And I guess Kakashi agreed to it, seeing how he spent hours training you. Naruto, stop this now. You don't know a damn thing about me. None of you do. You just thought I was some dead last kid who had no purpose in life. At least you had parents, Sasuke. I had nothing and no one. Just a fucking empty complex I came home to. No hugs, no kisses, no welcoming, just fucking silence. And now, all of a sudden you care? Stop your bullshit. Stop acting like you're my best friend. Because really, we're not and never have been. Naruto, to the point, was breathing hard as he let out all his frustration on Sasuke. His chest heaving up and down. Deep down, I knew I've always fucking hated you. In Team 7, Naruto brought his head to the ground as he gritted his teeth together. I can't take things back, though I wish I could. He heard Sasuke say, You're right about one thing. I don't know anything about you. But I know we've been through hell together. We both lost people who played an important role in our lives. And deep down, we wish for them to come back every day. But unfortunately, things happen for a reason. Naruto kept his head down and listened to the words. But you're wrong about no one caring about you. Even now, there's people in the Leaf who want to save you, including me. I can't just lose someone else who is important, not again. Which is why I'll bring you back. Sasuke looked back up at Naruto. Even if I have to break every bone in your body. And finally, silence overcame them. Nothing could be heard but a few chirps from birds and the water flowing. below the bridge. Kakashi looked down at Sasuke with interest and also proudness. "Sasuke, you've..." The silence broken once everyone heard quiet laughter coming from Naruto. His head was still down, but it was clear he was laughing. The quiet laughs got louder and louder, and finally Naruto raised his head as he had finally broke into a spine-chilling, psychotic laugh. The laugh was broken and very disturbing to hear, to the point it sent shivers down almost everyone's spine. "He's lost it." Naruto laughed harder and harder, before it slowly ceased, and he looked back at Sasuke with a smirk. "You just don't get it. You still think we're friends, but you're nothing to me." Red chakra began to surround Naruto. "You're just someone that I regret not killing at the valley." In an instant, Naruto was just a few inches away from Sasuke as he tried to grab his throat, but Kakashi had stepped in and grabbed his wrist. "Yamato, now!" Naruto looked over to the man known as Yamato and saw that he had something on his hand as he held it towards him. Naruto's eyes grew wide as he realized that it was Seal to stop the Kyuubi from lending some power. At the last minute, Naruto broke free from Kakashi's grasp by sending him down with a kick before jumping and landing onto Yamato. He raised his fist to throw one of his hardest punches yet, but was stopped when Karen had grabbed at his arm. Naruto's teeth got sharper, and he even became stronger that he was able to throw Karen on top of Yamato, sending them a few inches into the ground. Sasuke came back to intervene as him and Naruto began their battle again. "You're just making this easier for me, team." The two used a bit of taijutsu before gonna ninjutsu. Chidori Nagashi. Lighting surrounded Sasuke's body, like it did when he was fighting Kakuzu, and Naruto had to withdraw from it quick before doing his jutsu. Wind style. Raisin Shuriken. He threw it towards Sasuke, in which Sasuke responded with a Susanoo to stop the attack. The purple bones that surrounded Sasuke had faded, but in a flash of red, Naruto had appeared in front of him and punched him in the gut, his nails digging into Sasuke. Sasuke coughed up a bit of blood as he felt the hellish pain in his abdomen. "Naruto, stop!" Sakura cried out as she stabbed a kunai into his right shoulder. The painful yelp was heard from Naruto as his eyes soon met the person responsible. Naruto stared into Sakura's soul as he took the kunai out of his shoulder and kicked her in the gut and was sent to edge of the bridge. Kakashi got back up and ran towards Naruto with a Rinnegan in his hand. Naruto responded with a few shadow clones to slow down his former sensei. Kakashi fought them all off easily as Naruto stood with a smirk. "Still got it in you, Kakashi. You're one of my former students. I could never forget how you've fought, but you've improved quite a bit." Naruto charged right into Kakashi, only to be met with a Chidori Jutsu he had never seen before. Raiden Reijutsuga. An electric hound came charging quick and had hit Naruto as the boy stood there frozen. But Naruto had disappeared into a cloud of smoke. Before Kakashi could even react, the real Naruto had appeared behind him. "Kiba, Sai." Tenten called out, and the three had gotten into the fighting stance. Akamaru had transformed into a clone of Kiba as well. Sai quickly got a painting. "Ninpo, Jujugega." Painted beasts have left the scroll that Sai had painted on, and they all rushed towards Naruto. "Kitsuga." Kiba had shouted as him, and the clone had done their signature jutsu. Naruto was sandwiched. He had beasts coming from his left, and both Kiba and Akamaru on his right. He had to act quick, or else these guys could actually kill him. On top of that, Naruto had noticed many sharp blades began to head his way from the middle. He's had enough of this. Naruto stood his ground and held out both his hands, stopping all the attacks that were coming towards him as they dropped to the ground. Akamaru was forced back into his original state, but Tenten, Kiba, and Sai suddenly felt frozen, only for a second, before they felt themselves being pulled towards Naruto. He grabbed Sai and Tenten by their throats and slammed them both into the ground, knocking them out cold. Sasuke had finally pulled Sakura up from falling to her doom, but what he saw was horrific. Almost every squad member were either out clean or laying there injured. They then heard a gut-wrenching scream and looked to see Kiba with his kunai in his kneecap. Naruto laughed loudly as he turned to Sasuke and Sakura. "Even now, you still take me as a fucking joke," he said before twisting the kunai in Kiba's kneecap. He then took Kiba and slammed him on the ground. He put a foot on his back and grabbed both of Kiba's arms before smirking back at the two. "Hey, Sasuke, Sakura," he said. "Does this bring back any special memories?" Naruto pulled on Kiba's arms as the boy below him screamed in agony. And finally Naruto pulled his arms roughly that he had broken them both. Kiba was screaming below him. Tendo. Naruto held out his hand again and pulled both Sakura and Sasuke towards him. He grabbed them both by the throats as he grew a very bright yellow. He held their throats tightly to the point they could barely breathe as he smirked. "I could kill you both right now. Get it over and done with," he told them. "I could possibly even kill everyone here. You know why?" His grip on them both tightened. "Because your formation and teamwork is sloppy. If you had bushy brows and maybe even Niji, I probably would have had a much more difficult time," he told them. His grip on them didn't even cease, not one bit. Sakura felt like she was about to die any second from lack of air. Sasuke tried to free himself from his grasp, but failed. "I should have known that the both of you never cared about me back then. I kept telling myself that you both do, but I realize it now," he said. "Deep down, I hated you both back then." He threw them both to the ground roughly as they coughed to catch their breath. "I wish I could talk more, but I'm just wasting my time." Until then, Naruto grabbed one of Kiba's broken arms as the boy screamed again. Naruto shook it to make it look like it was waving at Sasuke and Sakura. "Bye." Naruto let the arm fall against the ground before walking off and soon jumping away. Sasuke's POV. Sasuke and Sakura were left speechless. One was terrified of their former friend. The other was more worried of what else he could do. "Kiba!" Sakura cried out as she ran towards their injured friend. Kiba winced in pain as Akamaru walked up to him and whined. "Hold still," Sakura told him. Kiba gritted his teeth. "I'm gonna fucking kill him. I swear I will," he yelled. "You need to worry about yourself now," Sakura said. Sasuke heard groans from his other teammates and watched them all get up. Kakashi sat up with his hand up against his aching head as the others looked around. Tenten gasped at Kiba's condition as she slowly got up. Karen stood up, only to be brought to her knees again as she grabbed her glasses. Sai and Yamato all looked around at everyone else as the pain began to take over. "Sasuke, where did Naruto go?" Kakashi asked. Sasuke gritted his teeth. "Where do you think?" Sakura was in the midst of healing Kiba as the rest of her teammates began to recover. "It's better to not put too much force against it as of right now," she told him. "Fucking Naruto." Kiba grunted as Sakura began to slowly readjust the bones in both of his arms, which caused him to bite down on his lip. "What the hell happened?" Yamato asked, as if everything happened too fast. "We got our asses handed to us, that's what." Tenten responded as she sat down in defeat. Kakashi sighed as he turned away from everyone. "So, what now?" Karen asked. Sakura focused her attention on Kiba, but she answered the question. "We don't have the strength to fight back as of right now," she said. "We're left to return, inform everyone about the mission being a failed dash." Sakura was suddenly grabbed by her collar and lifted a bit to the point she was face to face with Sasuke. Sasuke dash. "What the hell were you thinking?" he yelled. Everyone else turned towards the two. Sakura, "Just what the hell were you thinking? Running off like that to try and kill him? You could have gotten killed." "I thought dash." "No, actually, you were almost killed." "Sasuke, stop. Now's not the time." Kakashi tried to reason, but it was no use. "Kakashi-sensei, don't interfere," he told him. His grip on Sakura's collar tightened. Sai stood up and put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder. "Sasuke, Kiba's hurt. It's best if we dash. We barely even know you. What makes you think you have a say in all of this?" Sasuke coldly responded. He shifted his attention back to Sakura. "Don't ever pull some shit like this again, because next time no one else might not be there to save you." He sighed as he let her go and just walked off, not turning back to any of them. "We're all no match to Naruto right now," he told them. "But listen to my words carefully." Sasuke turned his head back to them. "I swear on my life, I'll bring Naruto back." And then Sasuke walked away without another word. Tenten and Sai helped up Kiba as Yamato and Kakashi helped each other too. Karen almost instantly followed behind Sasuke, already bugging him after all the shit that has happened. Kakashi put his hand on Sakura's shoulder to snap her out of her thoughts. "Sakura, let's go," he said. Sakura looked up to see the others already ahead of them, and she nodded. Her head was going to be down during the entire way back as she blamed herself. Shizen's POV. "Danzo's dead?" Shizen said surprised. "Yeah, a few EMB members were talking about it, but if he's not here by the end of the day, then it could be true. Or we'll hear from Sai," Shikamaru told her. WO. Any word on Kakashi and Yamato's group? Shikamaru sighed and sat on a chair inside the tent. Who knows? It's quite troublesome when you have half the people you trust gone, he responded. Shizen looked over to Tsunade. She was still in her coma after Pain's invasion. If Tsunade-sama were awake, I'm sure she would know what to do. Well, Danzo wasn't officially declared Hokage, but with Tsunade-sama still out, the people will need a new Hokage, and the elders seem to be getting a little impatient. Shikamaru said, yeah, Kakashi-sensei would be a good choice now that I think about it. I can't imagine Gai-sensei as a Hokage. Do you think Kakashi would agree to it? Shizen responded, can we at least give it another day? That's up to the elders, I'm pretty sure. Seriously? With Naruto out there, they're gonna want him dead. Majority of our friends do too. They want Naruto dead? Shizen panicked. His actions will only continue to get worse. And Hinata said it herself. Naruto wants nothing to do with us. But she hasn't lost hope in bringing him back, and I haven't lost all hope either. Shikamaru responded, yes, but dash. Shikamaru and Shizen both heard a sharp gasp and heavy breathing from beside them. Their heads turned to see Tsunade wide-eyed, sweat on her forehead as she breathed heavily. Tsunade-sama, you're awake. Shizen cheered. Finally, things have been getting more troublesome ever since you passed out. Shikamaru responded. Both of them were met with silence as Shizen approached Tsunade and put both of her hands on her shoulders. Tsunade-sama? Tsunade tried to catch her breath as she wiped the sweat off her face, but then froze again as she remembered everything before she passed out. She looked back up at Shizen with a worried look. Where's Naruto? As of right now, Sasuke and the rest have been gone for quite some time. They went to the Five Kage summit. Shikamaru said. He had explained everything to Tsunade. She tried her best to follow along, but she was really hungry right now. Her stomach felt so empty, especially after waking up a day after the pain attack. She was able to get most of the information, including how Danzo could possibly be dead. Her stomach growled loudly as she bit down on her lip. You must be hungry. Try to eat some food. I'm sure Shizen might take care of it. Shikamaru told her as he left the tent. Tsunade-sama, I'll head out to get food for you right away. Shizen said as she stood up. Tsunade sighed and laid back down as she puts her arm over her eyes. I'm hungry and I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. She whispered to herself before silence overcame her. Memories from years ago began to play through her head. The smile of the blonde-haired brat and his usual, I'll become Hokage saying, began to flood her mind. Her head was everywhere, and she didn't know what to think anymore. Naruto, what the hell happened to you? Naruto's POV. The blonde put his hand against the tree as he began to slide down on it with his back as he clutched his head in pain. What the hell did I just do? He remembers breaking Kiba's arms not too long ago. However, he felt as if he just did it for no reason. Did I do that for the fun of it? Having regrets? Kit, shut up for a minute. He heard the bones from Kiba's arm echo in his ear over and over again. The sound played like a broken record, over and over and over again. He then recalled a time when Sakura had mentioned Sasuke being a totally different person during the Chunin exams and breaking both of the opponent's arms. He then heard Kiba's scream echo in his head once more before a broken smile spread across his face and some slight chuckles escape his mouth. Brat, what the hell are you laughing for? Naruto's smile soon went away before shaking his thoughts away. The fuck is wrong with me? It wasn't long before Naruto shrugged off even more thoughts before walking away. He used a nearby tree to help keep him on both of his legs. Damn it, I feel weak. He shook his head once more. No, I'm not weak. I'll kill those bastards. He kept walking and walking until the sun went down. The moon began rising in the sky as Naruto sat down and stared at it. Madara Uchiha, from what I hear, he died ages ago. How the hell is he still alive? Do I even have the strength to stop him? You just said you weren't weak. Right, Kit? Yeah, I did. Then act like it. It was silence between the two. A long, uncomfortable silence. The cool breeze blew as Naruto began to still stare at the moon. But the silence was finally broken when Naruto asked a question. He saw the fox open one eye. The blonde looked up at him. You and the other-tailed beasts have a long history. Therefore, you've had other hosts. Tell me, who were these hosts? Kurama had risen up and sat down. He stared at his current host before he began explaining. I've been passed down the Uzumaki clan so far as of right now. First was Mito Uzumaki. Second was Kushina Uzumaki. And now you. What were they like? Kurama's eyes closed as he began remembering everything from the past years. If I remember correctly, Mito Uzumaki was married to the first Hokage. To be honest with you, Kit, I don't know much about her. I see. And Kushina? Kurama had closed his eyes and began to think about the woman named Kushina. Kushina Uzumaki was something else for sure. What do you mean? There were times where she was completely unreadable. That woman was so warm-hearted, yet had a very short temper. Any idea on anyone who was familiar with her? There were many. Jiraiya knew her, Kakashi knew her as well. And the fourth Hokage knew her better than anyone else. Naruto's eyes began to wander at the stars as a smile tugged at his lips. Kirby Sage and Dad. I suppose they all got along, well, huh? Indeed, Kit. The boy's eyes began to flutter as he rested against a tree before slowly falling asleep under the bright moon. Sasuke's POV. Sasuke and the others heard Tsunade slightly chuckle as she continued eating mountains of food. There was already more than a dozen empty bowls stacked up. To think that Brat's first words to me would be him calling me an old hag. Tsunade said after gulping down the last bit of food Shizen had brought her. And not only that, that damn brat killed half the Akatsuki members and now Danzo. It seems that Naruto's main task is to kill the Akatsuki. We're more of a side mission for him. Kakashi spoke up. He had a chance to kill Kiba right there, but instead, he broke his arms. Not only that, Tsunade-sama, but it seems that now, Naruto possesses both the Sharingan and Rinnegan. Sakura said, and to top it all of, he has a damn-tailed beast inside him. Kiba spoke up as he paced back and forth. You all saw what the Rinnegan can do and how strong it is. We're basically on our knees here, Dash. I know that, Kiba, but we can't give up now. Tsunade said, I hope you haven't spent these last 4 years sitting back as you let the adults handle things. Of course not. I've grown strong too, but not on the same level as Naruto, of course. So get even stronger, Tsunade ordered. Maybe we can just try to talk to him. I'm sure Naruto Dash. Sakura already blew that chance, Hinata. Kiba told her, and Sakura looked down in despair. And no offense, of course, but seriously. If you haven't gone down to killing yourself, Sakura, there could have been chances where we would get the jump on him. No one is to blame here. If anything, it's my fault. Kakashi spoke up. If I had been a better teacher and spent more time training him as equally as Sasuke, none of this would be happening. Sakura looked up to see pity in Kakashi's visible eye. Kakashi-sensei, I'm sorry. Tsunade-sama. I failed as a teacher. He said, Minato-sensei, Kushina, I failed as a guardian. It seems we have no choice then. We'll just have to capture Naruto. Tsunade said, What? Hinno? You know what that bastard is capable of now. He won't comply. Kiba argued. Not like we have much of a choice here. We also have the remaining Akatsuki to worry about. Tsunade raised her voice. Tsunade, you mustn't lose your temper. After all, you're still recovering. Shizen stated. Kiba, if it's what the fifth Hokage says, we have to go along with it. Sakura told him. Oh yeah. You know all about going along with plans, right, Sakura? Kiba fired back. Kiba, that's enough. Kakashi told him, let's just face the facts. Let Naruto handle the Akatsuki after that we dash. We end up dying, right? Sakura argued. You already said it earlier. That's not what I mean. Everyone, please calm down. Hinata spoke up. If I say we capture Naruto, we capture him. Tsunade stated. It's better off he's killed. You all know it. I mean, come on, Dash. You're all so damn wrong. Sasuke finally spoke up. So damn annoying. I can't stand people who can't hold proper meetings, especially someone who's Hokage. He sat up from the chair and began pacing around the room before looking at Shizen. You know Tsunade better than anyone standing here. And there's times I can tell where you think she's making the wrong calls. Stop sitting back and sucking on your thumb as you listen to every order she gives. And now he turned to face Tsunade. Old hag, you think that as Hokage, whatever you say goes. It doesn't. Kiba's right. What makes you think Naruto would sit back and enjoy some nice tea as we talk HM? See, even Sasuke dash. Kiba, shut the hell up. Sasuke told him. Just because you're right about one thing doesn't mean you're right about everything. If anyone, you're more of a sitting duck because you seem to be scared of Naruto more than anyone standing here. And now was Hinata's turn. Hinata, you have too much compassion in your heart that you're thinking the exact same as Tsunade. We can't just talk to Naruto and hope he'll come back to open arms. You have to prepare to fight at times, no matter who or what he is to you. Sasuke stood in front of Kakashi. You think blaming yourself will do any good? It won't. If you really want to get rid of that burden you're carrying as a teacher, then use your strength to make sure that same burden goes away and never comes back. And now Sasuke turned to Sakura. And you didn't seem to have much of a plan when it came to killing Naruto. He's officially a rogue ninja who is out for blood. And if you think he'll let his guard down for a second, you're wrong. Stop making stupid decisions for once. See the whole plan through with your teammates. He stepped away from Sakura and stood in front of Tsunade again. As for me, it's time that I stop wasting time and spend these last few days or so getting stronger so I can get my friend back, but I can't do it without you all. He tells them, I already said it once, I'll say it again. I'll get Naruto back no matter what, even if you all help or not. I won't give up on him the same way he used to never give up on me or his teammates. Sasuke began to head towards outside before looking back at everyone one last time. This time, I won't let him slip by fingers. It's time for us all to stop screwing around and get that idiot back alive. Naruto's POV. Naruto groaned as he opened his eyes, only for it to be completely bright yellow. He quickly shields his eyes from the ridiculous bright light as he slowly began to adjust. The hell? He sat up and looked around to see nothing. No trees, no grass, no animals. Nothing. Am I dreaming? He began to walk around, but nothing changed. He was confused. Kurama? No answer. Kurama, talk to me. Where are we? Still no answer. Kurama! The boy then felt a presence from behind and reached for his weapon, only for him to not have one. Who's there? He asked as he turned around. He then saw a woman who looked slightly shorter than him, standing with a smile on her face. She had long red hair, a beautiful soft smile that could make anyone else smile, and not only that, her presence was unexpectedly warm. She looks beautiful. Even Naruto was surprised that he said that, but he was still confused on why it's only him and her here. Well, seems like we finally get to meet again. Naruto, she said softly. His eyes almost went wide as his eyebrows furrowed. How do you know my name? He asked. And what do you mean again? I don't think we've ever met. Does it hurt to take a guess? The woman still had a smile on her face. She looked so cheerful. As for Naruto, he was confused and lost. Sorry, but I don't know you. Where are we? Actually, who are you? He asked. The woman then had a vein pop out from her forehead, but she still had that same cheerful smile on her. Well, I guess he forgot to explain some simple things then. The woman had her fist out that Naruto could have sworn her nails were digging into her palms. Such a nice woman, but completely short-tempered. Then it finally clicked in Naruto's head. Wait, you must be the former Nine Tails host, Kushina Uzumaki, he said. He then saw the woman relax as her smile grew even more. Yep, that's right. But there's one more thing, you know, Kushina said. Naruto fell into confusion again as he began to look at the woman in the eyes. He began to think and think, but it seemed to get him nowhere. Sorry, Kushina, but I really don't know. To be honest, there's very little I remember from 4 years ago, other than bad memories, you know? He said. I'm sure I'll remember someday, but for now I need to go. He turned his back towards Kushina and began to walk away until she spoke again. Oh, I see. Well, I can't blame you for not remembering. After all, you were just a newborn when I last saw you, but you do have your father's eyes, she said. Naruto then stopped once he heard Kushina mention his father. But you definitely got your looks from me. No wonder you've grown to become such a handsome man. You know? You know? Her looks? Dad? Then finally, the missing piece came together as Naruto's eyes widened. He froze completely, but still couldn't turn around. Well, in case you still can't figure it out, Naruto, I'm your dash. Mom. Kushina's eyes almost widened as she saw Naruto slowly turn around, and she could have sworn she saw tears trying to escape. Naruto stood there shocked and frozen. Is it really you? Mom? Kushina looked into Naruto's eyes and saw something that Naruto hasn't shown in so long. Hopefulness. He looked as if he was hoping that she was actually his mom and not some small mistake he made. Kushina softly smiled again as tears began to escape from her eyes as well. The boy slowly took some steps as a single tear went down his cheek, and he slowly held out his arms. My baby boy, she said, and that's when it hit. Naruto ran into his mother's arms like a little child. something he never had the chance to do, something he's always wanted, something he finally achieved. He hugged her tight, never wanted to let go. Not ever. He was too afraid that if he were to let go, that would be it. He sniffled before crying into his mother's shoulder, soaking her clothes with his tears as he held her even tighter. Her embrace was so warm. It finally felt so good to be held by his mom after 16 years. Mom, I missed you. I missed you so much, you know. Kushina slightly laughed as her tears fell onto Naruto's clothes as well. You even said you know. You are, without a doubt, my son. She told him. This feeling was so new to Naruto. He never wanted this feeling to go away. He wished for time to go slower, just so he can spend even more time like this. And so they both stood there, both crying tears of joy as they enjoyed each other's embrace. And after so long, Naruto felt something in his heart, something he thought he'd never feel again after for years. Joyful. Oh, my sweet child, Kushina said as she ran her hand through Naruto's hair while still hugging him. Mom! Naruto responded seriously. I need to talk to you, he said as they released from each other. Kushina wiped her tears and smiled at him. I'm here to listen, she says. Naruto sat down and looked at his feet as his mom sat close with a smile on her face still. Mom, he started. Pervy Sage, he's dead. Pervy Sage? You mean Dash? Naruto said with gritted teeth. Kushina's eyes almost went wide, not only from the news of Jiraiya's death, but because of the malice in Naruto's tone. It was Bachan's fault, he said angrily. It had to be. She let him go all alone, even though they were close. Tsunade, Kushina asks, why? Why would she let him go all by himself? I'm sure there's some reason, Dash. No, even she should know a Rinnegan user is completely out of his league. She already knew how dangerous the Akatsuki is. She dash. Naruto all of a sudden felt pain on his right cheek as his eyes went big from the shock. His cheek was completely red and stinging as he rubbed it and looked at Kushina, who was slowly raising her hand down. She had an angry expression on her face as she stared deep into his eyes. Naruto was quiet. He was at a loss for words. He even tried to speak at least one word, but it was impossible. Seems like you picked up my temper too, Kushina said, still with an angry expression. I know everything that has happened. To you at least. Your father told me you know. Dad, and you want to know the crazy part, Naruto? Kushina said as she bit down on her lip roughly. I'm not even angry at you. You know, Naruto was a bit confused by this, but slightly relieved too. So you'd understand why I did all of this then, right? Naruto then felt more pain, but not on his cheek this time. No, he felt pain on the top of his head as he let out a painful grunt. Wrong again, you know. Kushina raised her voice. Naruto stayed quiet again, once more as he put a hand over his head. Her hits are completely unnatural. Was my mom really this powerful? And scary? Naruto heard a slight sniffle as he continued to hold his head in pain. I'm angry at myself? Naruto looked up to see Kushina's face red and getting teary-eyed as she looked back at him. I'm angry that I can't be there with you, that I can't be there to raise you, to feed you, help you sleep, help educate you, help clean, or anything. And Mom, I'm angry that I left you behind. If I hadn't left you, you wouldn't have done these horrible things, she said. Tears were streaming down Kushina's face as Naruto stood there looking at his mom as she rambled even more. Your father only wanted to risk his life to save you during the Kyuubi attack when you were born. But I couldn't live like that, knowing that I could have done something to save him. But at the same time, I couldn't imagine my precious son being brought into a world without his parents. Naruto watched as his mother tried to wipe tears off her face, but they kept coming out no matter how hard she tried. At that moment, I wasn't scared of death. I was scared of leaving you behind in such a beautiful but cruel world, Kushina said as her voice began to break. If I had been there for you, things wouldn't be the way they are now. My son wouldn't have become a rogue ninja. My son would have spent every birthday with his mother. My son. Kushina had just given up on words and almost fell to her knees before Naruto caught her with one arm. He had no expression on his face. He wasn't sad or angry. He was just empty. Mom, he said in a low tone. It's not your fault. I don't exactly know what happened that day, but you're not to blame. Someone else's dash. Naruto, don't. Kushina interrupted. She knew what he was going to say, but she didn't want to hear it. Mom, don't. She repeated, "Please stop." She looked up at him in the eyes as she regained her composure. "Please, don't kill anyone else, Naruto. Only you can put an end to it. You have to put an end to it." Naruto sighed. "There's only one way to dash." "No, there's always more ways. This isn't the way I would have raised you, Naruto. You know that." She whispered. The two of them were silent before Naruto broke it. "I can't lie to you. As much as I wanna, I simply can't," he said. "They need to feel the pain that I've felt over those years. Especially those two." Naruto looked away from his mom as he muttered the names. Tobi and Sasuke. Kushina gasped and slowly covered her mouth as Naruto took a step away from her. "Tobi is the one responsible for you and Dad dying. Sasuke is Dash. Mikoto es?" Kushina interrupted. Her eyes went big as she looked at her son, fear in her eyes. "And Naruto, you? Really?" Kushina couldn't even finish her sentence. Naruto sighed. "I never wanted this, you know," he says as he sits down. "I never asked to be responsible for Kurama, but I guess I'm glad that he's sealed in me. I never asked for the village to treat me harshly. I never asked for these horrible things." Naruto then clenched his fist and gritted his teeth. "But I guess I have no choice, right? Even when I wanted to get along with those who treated me harshly, I was like some kind of monster to them. Funny that I used to be scared of them, but now I'm feared throughout the village." Kushina sat next to Naruto as he talked. "Mom," he started. "Do I not have parents because Tobi is responsible for your guy's death? Or do I not have parents because you chose to die with Dad and not stay to care for your son?" Kushina's eyes went wide as she looked at her son's face. What the hell was going on down there for him to truly act this way? How can she even answer this question? I. Kushina was at a loss for words. Naruto sighed at her stuttering and spoke for her. "If you don't know the reason, then fine. But Mom, there's so much that happened that I don't want to tell you." Naruto's eyes then had a slit in them, indicating that Kurama has taken control. Kushina Uzumaki. "It's been a while, QB," Kushina muttered. "Since Naruto can't explain everything that's happened, I guess I will. Besides, I'd rather you hear it from me than your own son." And that's exactly what Kurama did. He explained everything that had happened since Kushina and Minato both died. Kushina was horrified from all this info. Leaf Village is gone? Akatsuki, Naruto's fake death? And now he killed a village elder? Kushina explained. "Kid has done some messed up stuff, but that's because he's been through messed up things. If there is anyone to blame as to why your son is like this, it's entirely your fault." Kurama then switched back with Naruto as the Jinchuriki user gained control this time. "It's not your fault, Mom. Maybe everything would have happened either way." Kushina's mouth trembled as she held back tears. "No, if the villagers were looking for someone to blame, I would have taken all of it. I would have taken it to my grave. As long as you were happy, I would have taken all the words they've dashed." Naruto then walked up and put his hands on Kushina's shoulders. "But you didn't," he said in a low tone. "But because of that, a part of me is grateful. I would never want to come home to see my mom hurt from such horrible comments." Naruto then held her hands tightly. He looked at how clean and smooth hers were compared to his rough and dirty hands. "But I'll make them pay for it. They called me a demon. I'll show them a demon. They showed me fear. I'll show them terror. They ignored every tear I shed. I'll make sure each of them are crying. I'll take what they did to me and throw it right back at them 10x harder. Believe it, Mom." Kushina remained quiet. She knew she can't do anything. Even though she's his mom, she can't do anything, especially since she's actually gone. She turned away. "I'm glad I got to talk to you, Naruto. I now understand most things. I really wish things had never turned out this way." She then turned her head and had on a cheerful smile, much to Naruto's confusion. "But I know you'll make the right choice. It's never too late, you know," she said. "But just know that from the bottom of my heart and soul, I will forever love you, more than you can imagine. On your birthday, New Year's, or whatever, I'll always be right by your side." Tears then streamed down her face. "Your mother will always be by you," she said as she pointed to his heart. "And I'll always help guide you to the smartest decisions, like I always should have. So please, don't fall into the dark hole that awaits you. Hang in there, my sweet handsome baby boy. Please, take baths every day, brush your teeth, and take care of your body." Naruto slightly smiled. Even at a time like this, she still acts like a mother. "I love you, Naruto. I will forever love you," she said. Naruto heard the last of her sniffles before the room he was in had disappeared, and soon, he was back in the real world. The grass flowed in rhythm as the wind blew, the sun showing off their color as Naruto stayed under the shade and reflected on his mom's words. "Only you can put an end to it. You have to put an end to it." Kakuzu, Deidara, Sasori, Haiden, Pain, Konan. He said all their names. "Did you guys ever regret that you resorted to killing?" Naruto took the leaf off his face and held it by the stem. "The Leaf Village," he said as he turned the leaf over and over again. He began to reflect more, but this time in the past. He reflected on the days when everyone in school was obsessed with Sasuke, simply because of his looks and skills. The village was obsessed with him simply because he was the last standing Uchiha. Did he miss those days? Hell no. Of course there were people he respected such as Kakashi, Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, Hinata, Rock Lee, and so forth. But there were people he despises to this day. Sasuke, Sakura, Ino, Tsunade, the villagers. Those memories of the past and what their actions had caused still affect him. They affect him so much that he wishes he could have the same heart to forgive them. But forgiveness is long gone. And even if he did forgive, he sure wouldn't forget. He held the leaf in his hands for a few more seconds before putting it in his hand and crushing it. "Sorry, Mom," he mumbled as he got up. "I just can't." Naruto grabbed his things off the ground, placed them around him as he put one hand on the tree for support. He breathed in the fresh air and exhaled it. He grinned, ready for his next move, which is to happen an hour from now. He turned back around and stepped out into the sun, a grin still on his face, as he headed towards the direction of the Leaf Village. Now then, let's pay some old friends a visit. Sakura's POV. Sakura had spent the past 20 minutes walking back and forth across the still broken village. But many repairs were happening. As a matter of fact, repairs were happening quick. If the villagers kept this up, the village would be rebuilt in less than possibly 3 months. However, the huge crater was going to be a huge deal. Sakura was currently searching for Sasuke. She was told that he'd spent all night training, so she wanted to check up on him to make sure he doesn't exhaust himself too badly. Assuming he hasn't even eaten yet, she grabbed lunch and water to help keep his stamina up. He may be talented, but he still had limits. Even he knows that. Sakura reached the training grounds and saw Sasuke breathing hard, his right eye bleeding badly. "Sasuke!" Sakura shrieked as she ran towards the boy. "Sakura!" He breathed out. "Lay down. Let me see your eye," she said as she reached for his head. Sasuke moved her arm as he looked around. "I'll be fine. I've been through worse." Sakura looked over at the obliterated village. "We're all going through worse." Sasuke wiped the blood from his eyes and laid down for Sakura to heal it. He had a blank expression, but she had seen that expression way too many times to the point she knows he's hiding something. Like right now. "What's bothering you?" she asks. Sasuke sighs. 4 years. He responds. "We thought he was dead for 4 years. Sakura frowns. "I know. I don't even think I shed tears for him when it happened." Sasuke, "I don't know the reason to it. I didn't feel sadness. I felt angry. Angry at the fact that he went through so much trouble to bring me back, only to die a few days later." Sasuke continued. Sasuke looked over at Sakura. It was weird for him to show this much emotion, so it was unexpected to say the least. "Sakura, did we truly hate Naruto, even though he had good intentions?" Sakura's eyes went big at that. "I just think we were a bit too harsh." "Bullshit, Sakura," Sasuke said as he stood up quickly. "A bit too harsh? How can it be just a bit when we thought we had driven him to suicide?" Sakura stared at the grass. I don't know. "Don't go lying to yourself," a familiar voice had said. "You both know the exact reason." Sakura and Sasuke both looked over, their eyes going big. Sakura, Sasuke, they both looked to see Naruto standing right there. They noticed his other eye was replaced with the Rinnegan. "Oh no, do I really have to lay it out for you both?" he said as he stepped forward. "It's not that you both hated me. It's just that you both didn't believe in me." Naruto stood between the two, not looking at them. "Ever since the exams, I wanted to believe in you both a lot more. But it seems I have gotten my hopes up because I'm truly disappointed in you both." Naruto stepped over to Sakura. The girl was at a loss for words as she stared at the ground. Who would have thought that the presence of the boy she once knew would be so terrifying? Being trained under Tsunade is definitely an honor. I'm sure most people would kill to have her train them. But clearly she chose the wrong person to train. Naruto reached out to Sakura as he cupped her chin to make her look at him. Because at the end of the day, Sakura, you're still the scared coward I remembered on that bridge. Naruto turned his attention to Sasuke. And for someone to be praised by the entire village, this is the best you can do. I'm disappointed. Sasuke, why are you here? Sasuke asked as him and Naruto stood face to face. To kill you. Sasuke almost went on high alert until Naruto smirked. At least that was my original plan. I thought you'd be a pain in the ass as I chased after the last two remaining Akatsuki members. Naruto's smirk then turned into chuckles as he began to laugh at Sasuke in his face. But it seems I have nothing to worry about. After all, you're weak, and you wouldn't stand a chance against me. Naruto then did a gesture where he put his hand on his chin and closed his eyes as he looked up at the sky. What was it that everyone called me at the academy? Naruto hummed as he sarcastically thought about it. Dead boy? No. I'm pretty sure that was after the fake death. Dead wrong? No. That wouldn't make sense. I thought of it. Dead last. Naruto then puts a finger on Sasuke's shoulder. Out of all the people I'm worried about, you're dead last. You're wrong. Sasuke responded as he slapped Naruto's finger off his shoulder. Oh, am I now? You are. I'll admit, when I saw your strength back there against Danzo, I was shaken up a bit, and I thought I stood no chance. But now, I know I'll at least have a fighting chance. Naruto chuckled and then looked at Sasuke like he was joking. You know, I could kill you right now. I could kill everyone here. Do you think my strength was just for show? It kinda was. Kurama spoke to him in his head. My strength comes solely from Dash. 1 week. Sasuke interrupted. Naruto raised a brow. 1 week. Sasuke stepped forward. Give me 1 week, and I swear to you that I'll be strong enough to be on equal footing against you. Memories began to play in Naruto's head. He thought back on when he said the same thing to Tsunade when she doubted that he could learn Rinnegan in a week. 1 week. Naruto smirked. All right then, Soul Uchiha survivor. 1 week it is. Naruto then began to face Sakura as he leaned down to be face to face against her. Same for you too. You got a hell of a punch, but you're sloppy. Naruto then backed away from her and began to walk past Sasuke. But before he could completely disappear, he stopped in his tracks, his back still turned to them. You know what? Make that 3 weeks, he said as he held up 3 fingers. Sasuke gritted his teeth. You really don't believe we can? No, I don't. There's no way you could get such strength in a week. Naruto then continued walking away. Be lucky. I'm giving you something I haven't given most of the Akatsuki members that I've killed. Which is? Sakura responded. Naruto smirked as he looked back at them one last time. Mercy. And just like that, he vanished. Sasuke didn't look too fazed by Naruto's words. Then again, when is there a time where he is fazed? There can't possibly be a way that we can get stronger in 3 weeks. Right, Sasuke? Sasuke remained silent as the wind blew, still facing the direction that Naruto stood. It was at that moment that Sakura knew. He was in deep thought. Sasuke? Sakura. He spoke. Sakura stood straight when she heard her voice leave his mouth. Tsunade-sama is awake, right? Why, yeah, but she still needs lots of rest. That's fine. There's just one thing I need you to do. And me? Sasuke asking for a favor. That's kind of new. Sasuke finally faced Sakura before walking past her and into the shambled village. I'm going to talk to Tsunade-sama. I need you to gather everyone right now. That includes Orochimaru, Karen, Jugo, and Suigetsu. I don't want a single person left out. Got it? It is. I'm on it. Sakura says before running off to find everyone. Sasuke sighed as he heads towards Tsunade's tent. It didn't take him long. Even though the village is completely gone, he still got around pretty quickly. He wasted no time entering the tent without saying a word, only to see bowls stacked on each other and a very hungry Tsunade finishing up her 50th something bowl. Shizen noticed Sasuke's presence and almost shrieked. Nothing new. Sasuke, what the hell are you doing here? The village is my home. Sasuke bluntly responded. Tsunade. He called out. Tsunade put down the bowl she was about to finish up as she looked up at Sasuke. Raising a brow. It's rare to hear you call me that, but I'm guessing you have something important to tell me. Sasuke pulled up a chair as he sat down and nodded. Try to listen carefully to everything I say. I don't like repeating myself, so I'll only say it once. Tsh, fine. Tsunade said as she grabbed another bowl. We need to be prepared. Sakura's POV. Sakura walked back and forth, biting her lip as she awaited Sasuke's arrival. She managed to get everyone here surprisingly. However, some are starting to get impatient and are just about ready to leave. So, where the hell is he? Sujetsu asked for the 10th time. Dude, he'll be here in a bit. Kiba responded. I've been told that shit about 10 times already. Because you've asked the same damn question about 10 times already. Karen responded. Because we've been waiting for over 30 minutes for him to show up. Pinky here said it was urgent, so why the hell is he late for his own damn urgent meeting? Sakura bit down on her lip harder as she waited longer and longer. I think I'm about ready to go home and get lots of sleep. Tintin told them. Just when it seems like everyone was about to leave, Sasuke then approached them all. His look was always serious, but they could tell that he clearly had something on his mind. So, Mr. Cool, what's this meeting about? Suigetsu asked. Sasuke lifted an arm and pointed at Rock Lee. Rock Lee, where you're standing at right now, that's where Naruto was standing earlier today during my training. He could have easily killed us all, but he didn't. He's giving us 3 weeks. Sakura joined in. For what? Until he kills us? Ino asks. That may be what's going on in his head, especially for me. But for us, it's 3 weeks until we get strong. Sasuke responds. So I decided to join in. Although I'm not very fond of Naruto, I have seen his monstrous strength. It's terrifying to the point none of the Kages stood a chance. He says, so Sasuke, what makes you think we will? He's right if you think it about it. Sasuke, you're basically telling us to die. Kiba joins in. Sasuke sighed, and in a split second his tone changed. Ever since I first arrived to this village, my clan had been killed, and I had nothing on my mind but revenge when I promised myself to kill my brother. But not only that, one thing I had on my mind as well was to be better than anyone to the point I almost left this village just to accomplish it. Sasuke stood tall. But up until now, I started to accept those around me. And I even began to notice some of your guys' strength. You've all gotten strong too, but times are changing quick. Soon, we're going to be going through hell, but we need to be stronger to conquer that hell. Sakura immediately joined in. He's right. Come on, guys. Compare yourselves to the past. We were all sloppy back then, and all we really cared about was strength. But throughout the years, we've realized that we can't get such strength unless we have each other. Sakura looked over to Ino. Ino, come on. You're with me, right? Ino sighed as she walked up to Sakura. But that sigh was joined by a smile. And to think that one day, that big forehead of yours would come up with something smart. Sakura smiled as she lightly hit Ino. About time you finally sided with me on something, Ino Pig. Rock Lee soon ran up to Sakura as well. I can tell from your tone and emotions that you truly believe in us, Sakura-san. Therefore, I will continue to get stronger than I already am. Sakura smiled at him too. Hinata quickly turned towards Niji, her face full of determination. Niji, I've seen how you fight. There's still things that I want you to teach me, or things that I can learn from. We can learn something more from each other throughout our training. Niji nodded. I suppose so. So I put his hand on his chin as he turned towards Shikamaru. Now that I think about it, I think our abilities could work well together, in a way. Shikamaru sighed. Great, hard training, and I'm stuck with a weirdo. This whole thing is so troublesome. If we do all this training just to die, I think I might actually off myself before the enemy does. Choji chuckled as he put his arm around his best friend. You're always packing the lame attitude. We need to work together and make those we've lost proud. More and more chatter began to happen as Sasuke and Sakura watched everyone begin to already think of plans and how well their strengths can benefit from each other. Sakura smiled as Sasuke remained with the same expression. Kakashi watched from a distance as all of this unfold. Sasuke, Sakura, you both really came a long way. But of course, there's still plenty of room for improvement. Kakashi then put away the same book he's always reading before slightly chuckling nervously. But then again, I've already died once, so the same could be said for me. I guess it's time, guy, and I actually spar. As the chatter began to quiet down, Sasuke stood over everyone alongside Sakura. It seems you all understand what needs to be done, but I'll have you know that we're not the only ones who will be working hard. I've talked to Tsunade, and she said she'll send all the current Kages a message about this all. Meaning Gaara, and every village out there will be training too. Everyone nodded and smiled at this good news. With the Kage's strength along with their 3 weeks of training, there's a chance they could take down Naruto. He seems the bastard isn't just all talk and actually wants to try. Suigetsu says, "Now then, all of you get to training now. Don't let these 3 weeks go to waste." Sakura shouted, "Right." Everyone replied before they split into teams or separately. Before Sakura could go off to train on her own, Sasuke spoke up. "Sakura, I need you to spar with me." Sakura gulped. "And me? No need to be afraid. But just know I won't hold back. So don't hold back on me either. Think of me as an enemy you need to defeat if you want to protect the people who matter to you." Sakura took out her gloves as she began to put them on, while Sasuke stepped away as he tried to get some distance. "It's like you said, don't let these 3 weeks go to waste." Sakura chuckled as she pulled her glove down tighter, right? Sasuke then closed his eyes. "Now then." And just like that, his eyes flashed open as he activated his Sharingan. "Come at me." Sakura chuckled one more time as she rushed towards her opponent before jumping in the air and balling up her fists. "Shanaro, Madara, are we perhaps still moving forward with the plan?" Kisame questioned. However, Obito was silently fuming with anger. "There is no plan," he responded. "Not while that damn brat is alive, that is. He's screwing up the entire thing, one by one." Obito flashed his Sharingan as he stood in front of the second to last remaining Akatsuki member. "All because you failed to do the simplest of jobs, which was kill him. The damn brat has proven that he is as tough as nails. How the hell was I supposed to know he was alive until shit started falling apart?" Obito turned his back away from Kisame. "Besides, you act as if I'm to blame for all of this. Because if I remember correctly, it was you who took him in and trained him over 4 years. And now all of a sudden you want him dead? Don't make me laugh now. You don't even know the reason as to why I want him dead now." Obito responded, "Oh yeah? Well, surprise me, Madara. Because when you took him in, he was already beat up enough to the point that one flick to the forehead could have killed the brat." Kisame smirked. Obito sat down on a rock and interlocked his fingers. "I want that brat dead because I noticed how greatly he had progressed in just a matter of 4 years. I only taught him the basics, abilities that would probably be useless against any enemy, even Orochimaru. But as we entered the final year of his training, I noticed he was starting to improve much more faster." Kisame sat next to Obito as they both looked down at the crystal clear water below them. "And before I knew it, he started learning things on his own. Abilities that would take months to master only took him a few days. He was truly determined to destroy his old comrades. Therefore, if he kept going like that, then catching him by a blind side would useless in the future. So it was time to act quick. And who else better to send out to kill him than you?" Kisame grinned. He didn't know much of Haiden's ability. "You could have sent that sadistic freak after him. I could have sent anyone, but I chose you instead. Because out of all Akatsuki members, you're already more of a sick bastard than us." Kisame chuckled. "Oh yeah, don't you have bad blood with someone from the Leaf? Kakashi Hitaki, correct?" "I assume so." "Why him? The guy wasn't even born around the time where everyone thought you had died." "Obito site. It's a long story. Has nothing to do with you." From their right, Zetsu began to emerge from the ground slowly as he began speaking. "Naruto seems to be making his move on us. And it seems that Sasuke, Uchiha, and the Hidden Leaf are going into deep training for 3 weeks. Some are even going to other villages to help better their training," he says. Kisame chuckled once more as he stood up. "Well then, it appears it's time that we go up against the demon himself. Zetsu, send that brat my way. I'll be stopping by the Cloud Village soon. And now that I think of it, Naruto just might be the perfect opponent for me." Kisame looked back at Obito one last time. "Do you trust me to rid of his body and let him swim the fishes this time, Madara Uchiha?" Obito looked up at Kisame one last time before turning away. "Turn that brat into little pieces. Make him go through more than hell. Show him that the fate he's chosen to follow is worse than death." A day later, Sasuke's POV. Sasuke was breathing very hard on the training grounds, his forehead drenched in sweat as he laid flat on the dirt. Sakura was across from him, also drenched in sweat as she was breathing heavy. The ground was broken into many big pieces, all because of her punches. "How long has it been?" Sakura questioned. "Almost 2 hours." Sasuke replied. Sasuke stood back up and had almost fallen down, but was caught by someone else. "Well then, I see you guys are getting busy. Sasuke looked up to see Kakashi standing above him, Tsunade by his side. Tsunade-sama, how are you holding up? Sakura asked. Give me a bottle of sake, and I'll say I'm doing perfect. As much as I wanted to rest for another day, I have to get going to the Cloud Village. Tsunade responded. Huh? For what? Sakura asked. Shizen came up to Sasuke and began healing any slight injuries in his eye. Since the summit didn't go as planned, they want to hold another meeting at the Cloud Village, the village that the Raikage watches over. Oh, I see. And because Naruto is making moves out there, they also want to discuss him as well. I was told the Kages couldn't handle him. Aside from that, Kakashi joined in. They're all in shock to hear that Madara is still alive. So it seems that's two people we'll have to keep a lookout on. Tsunade stared up at the sky. And to think it would all come down to this. I have a big part to play in all of this. If I had known it was Naruto in the first place, I would have never transplanted those eyes, and I would have reported it to you, Shizen, even if you were to have tried that, he would have killed you. Tsunade interrupted. There was nothing you could have done. It's not your fault. Kakashi told her. Taunton oinked at Shizen as she picked her up. We should go with you all to the Cloud Village, Sakura suggested. Sasuke nodded, but Kakashi refused. You two can finish your training. I'll escort Tsunade-sama alongside No, it's fine, Kakashi. From what I can tell, they're doing great so far in their training. I'm sure the others are too, Tsunade said. All right, Fine. We'll be leaving in an hour. Both of you get some rest. It's going to be a long walk. Sai is still here. Let's have him make some birds for us to fly on, Shizen suggested. Good thinking. I'll let him know in a bit. Sasuke responded. All right, be ready in an hour. We'll be waiting for you all at the gate. Yes, sir, Sakura said. Naruto's POV. Naruto was walking across a very small village, far from the leaf. There was barely anything here but good food stands owned by the elderly. He had stolen a mask from one of the stands to help hide his identity once more, since he's sure that word will get out that he's alive and very dangerous. Luckily, it was a mask that helped cover his Rinnegan too. Mama, look, a little girl said as she began pointing at something. Naruto followed her eyes to see a paper on a pole. Speak of the devil. We've been seeing those papers everywhere we go of that boy. Naruto Uzumaki. The mother said, yeah, dead or alive. That kind of money right there can have you set for life. Another man said, yeah, but then again, the higher the bounty, the more dangerous they are. A man said, wouldn't you agree? Someone asked Naruto, completely unaware of who's behind the mask. Naruto grinned as he stared at the paper that had a perfect drawing of what he looks like. Almost definitely. Keep a lookout. Never know where he could be coming. Naruto responded as he walked away. Poor bastards. Kurama said, tell me about it. Naruto then walked into a ramen shop. There was an elder man and a young brunette. Hello there. The elder man exclaimed as Naruto sat down. Well, hello. Naruto responded. What can we get started for you today? The brunette asked. Miso ramen with extra pork, please. Oh, you've got good taste, young man. One miso ramen coming up. The old man said, don't mind my dad. He can be very noisy sometimes, haha. The girl said, no worries. Young man, if you don't mind me asking, can you take off your mask? The old man asked. Well, Dad, no need to invade his privacy now. Well, how else can he eat? He's probably undercover for another village, and he's looking for that boy who's on the papers. The daughter argued. I just want to know who I'm looking at is all. Who knows? Maybe he could be the man you'll marry in the future. Dad, stop. The daughter said as she blushed. No one would marry a ramen worker anyway. Nonsense. Your mother saw me and she fell in love with my handsome face. Either that or she saw free ramen. The daughter sighed. Surprisingly, Naruto almost genuinely smiled at the conversation between the man and his daughter. You both remind me of two people, you know. They're also ramen workers. When I was younger, they would always serve me the best ramen. And I felt like they were the first people to have actually welcomed me with open arms and believe in me. Naruto smiled even more as he thought back to when he was just a kid, drenched in water from the heavy rain as he stood at the entrance of Ichiraku Ramen. He thought of growing up years later to still have eaten there up until the age of 12. He still remembers the smell of the ramen they'd serve him. He remembered it all, every bit of it. It's one of the few memories he never wants to wipe away. And where are these people now? I would love to go toe-to-toe so I can see who cooks the better ramen. The old man responds. Naruto's smile then slowly fades away. hopefully somewhere safe. He tells them, even if they are, their safety will soon come to an end, sadly. A few more minutes pass by before the man yells in excitement. Miso ramen is served. Enjoy it, young man. And maybe it's time who's behind the mystery. The dad responded, no, it's not. We still have dishes that need to be done. Damn it. You're right. The man responded before turning around. Itadakamasu, Naruto said before moving his mask halfway up to the point you can only see his mouth. The daughter slightly turned her head, despite arguing to her dad about his privacy, and caught a glimpse of Naruto eating. She could only slightly see the side of his face as he continued eating, but couldn't get a full look at his features. She turned her head back to the dishes as she slightly blushes. He really is hot, she muttered to herself before sighing. Just one more look. When she turned back around, this time her head fully turned to Naruto. He already had his mask down and his bowl was empty. He ate way too fast. You can get a tummy ache from that, you know? How much for the ramen? Naruto asked. $8.45. The daughter said. Naruto reached in his pocket and pulled out more money than intended as the daughter came over to collect. Keep the change. The daughter blushes more. Oh, thanks, she said. Two more customers walk in and sit next to Naruto. Old man Daisuke, little Mikuri. How are you guys holding up? Just fine? And you? Daisuke responded. Fine, but this village would be a lot cleaner if those papers of that boy weren't everywhere. I don't worry about that. I'm sure they'll capture that boy in less than a week or two. Daisuke responded. I'm just worried about those Akatsuki fellows. I've heard a few of them are still on the loose. Rogue criminals they are. A man next to his friend said, yeah, tell me about it. Mikuri said. Another man had walked in and sat right next to them. Akatsuki, you say? The man asked, where the hell did this guy come from? From what I've heard, one of them is making moves down there in the Cloud Village. That instantly caught Naruto's attention. An Akatsuki member. Down there? Are they moving forward with the plan? Wow. Really? Daisuke asked. Yeah, and from what I've heard, Dash. Hey. Naruto interrupted. Do you know which Akatsuki member it is? The man almost sounded hesitant, but still answered nonetheless. Well, I don't know his name, but folks around the village are saying it's some sort of creature with blue skin, sharp teeth, and some sort of weapon wrapped in cloth. Naruto's eyes went big. Kisame. He instantly stood up from his seat. That's all I needed. He told him. So it seems you were right, Mikuri. This guy is an undercover. Daisuke said. You're going to capture that bad guy, right? Mikuri asked. Something like that. He responded to her. Damn it. I gotta get going. Maybe I'll stop by again to eat something, Daisuke. One of men said as he ran off in a hurry. The two other men looked up at Naruto, their eyes wide. Are you sure you can handle them? Those guys are completely rogue. Don't underestimate me. Naruto told them. Well, I don't want to keep you waiting, young man. Go on ahead and carry out your mission. Daisuke said. Oh, and the girl stumbled on her words a bit as she stared at her feet. Please come back again sometime. She finished. Naruto didn't respond and only walked away. Break a leg. Daisuke shouted. Naruto smirked under his mask as he turned back to the old man and his daughter. I'll be doing more than just that, he told them. Naruto began run off in the direction of the Cloud Village, removing his mask once he was completely away from the people of the village as he jumped tree from tree. The man from before who was in a rush looked in the direction of Naruto as his flesh began to melt to the point his entire skin was white. Well then, it seems like even Naruto is ready to handle Kisame. Zetsu had said, this will be fun to watch, but I suppose I should also cause some ruckus there, so that no one interferes with their battle. Zetsu chuckled. This will be so fun. Naruto continued to jump from tree to tree, his pace picking up more and more as he began to feel his blood boiling. The day of judgment is upon you, Kisame. Enjoy every last breath you have in you. Kisame's POV. Kisame had finally arrived at the cloud, a grin on his face as he began to wait patiently for his opponent to arrive. At last, we will finally meet again, he said to himself, and at last it will be the final day for you. Naruto Uzumaki. Tsunade's POV. Tsunade and everyone else are currently flying on birds that Sai had created to help reach the Cloud Village faster. The breeze felt good and refreshing as they flew across the sky. See, now this is what I needed right here, Suigetsu shouted. Sasuke sighed as he heard the boys' loud comments. I really wish we didn't bring you. he mumbled. He then felt body heat up close to him and heard a little giggle as he caught a glimpse of red hair. Or you. Sakura looked below to see some stairs and a man down below. Or at least it's what it looks like. Look, she pointed out as everyone shifted their attention to the man below. Wait, are we already in the Cloud Village? Shizen questioned. Sai, get us down there. Kakashi ordered. Sai nods before descending to ground level. It seems Sakura was right. There indeed was a man at the stairs. However, he was dancing. The painted bird went away as everyone got on their feet. Kakashi clears his throat. Excuse me, sir, he called out. The man turned around and noticed the group standing there. He didn't say a word, just stared as he pushed his sunglasses up. Tsunade went ahead of everyone, and the man looked a bit shaken up as he started to blush slightly. We're from the Leaf Village. I'm Tsunade-sama, the 5th Hokage. We were summoned here because the Hokage wanted to continue the meeting that couldn't be finished at the summit. By any chance can you dash? The man began to mutter some things as he blushed further. Bro Breas, boo dash, he stuttered as everyone looked confused. Shizen then caught on quick. Ahi! She shrieked before standing in front of Tsunade. Tsunade-sama, I think we're in the wrong place. This is just some perverted guy. Let's please hurry and get out of here. And no, it's nothing like that. It's just that it's not every day you run into a woman who isn't flat. The man said, but in a weird way, almost as if he was rapping a song. See, pervert, Tsunade-sama, we have to go. Shizen panicked. Sasuke sighed at the entire thing. Idiots. As Shizen's shock began to quiet down, the man cleared his throat and spoke. You're here to see Big Bro. If so, follow me and I'll lead you right to him, yo. The man said, can't you talk normal? Suigetsu asked. The way he communicates is quite strange, but at least we know now that we're in the Cloud Village. Sai said, of course you are fool, you fool. Suigetsu looked at the guy weirdly. I think this guy just might be one of the weirdest guys next to Orochimaru. Tsunade cleared her throat again. If you don't mind, please, lead us to him, mister. The name's Killer Bee. Time to let Big Bro know he's got some people to meet. Killer Bee rapped before taking out his notebook to write something as the group followed him. As they walked through the village, they got a good look at the scenery. This place was strangely beautiful. Buildings being held by rocks, bridges built perfectly to get from one building to another at a very high height. This place was wonderful to say the least. If this is what the Cloud Village looked like, they can only imagine the Mist Village along with Stone Village too. A building then stood out. A very big building that is, the size of it gave Sasuke an idea. I'm guessing that's the Hokage mansion? He asked. You guessed correctly. Killer Bee responded. They walked to the entrance where they come across 2 guards. I'm guessing you're the Hokage for the Leaf Village? One of the guards say to Tsunade. That would be correct. She told him, on behalf of the Hokage, we're deeply sorry for what your village is going through. We hope to put an end to all this madness as soon as we can. Thank you, and trust me, we will. She responded as the guards nod to Killer Bee, opening the doors to let him in. Right this way. Let's get into the room so we can hear what Big Bro has to say. Killer Bee rhymed. Please talk normally. Suigetsu mumbled as they head to the top floor. Behind closed doors, they can already hear conversations going on. As Killer Bee opened it, they see all the current Kages sitting alongside their right-hand men. Well, 2 of them are girls, but you get what I mean. Tsunade-sama, it's nice to see you again. Gaara said. Likewise, Gaara. Tsunade took a seat in the empty chair as Sasuke and Kakashi stood next to her. The rest went to sit down on the other side where they can get a good view of the outside. It is truly beautiful to see. Sakura thought, I'm very sorry to hear about your village. And Jiraiya-sensei, it's tough to deal with, but I'm sure you're strong enough to overcome any burden. Mei told her, yeah, I'll be fine. Tsunade said as she sits straight. I've heard what happened at the summit, and later on, I was told about Madara coming back and Danzo being killed. Then you also know about the young boy too? Inoki asked. Naruto Uzumaki. The Hokage said. Hearing his name back then, you wouldn't think much of Naruto besides him being a Jinchuriki. But now, it's like if you say his name, a curse will soon be cast upon you. Yeah, my grandson. HM? Grandson? Mag questioned. Not by blood, but I always saw him as one. She responds, but let's not go into details. Hokage-sama, you summoned us here, and you said it was urgent. The Hokage stood up from seat. He sure did look intimidating. Everyone in the room knew that if they were to go up against him, they might as well drop dead. Knowing that Madara is alive, and knowing that he has a plan that he is soon going to carry out, we are to be prepared at once, or else we'll be sitting ducks the moment he attacks. But almost the entire Akatsuki is wiped out. I'm sure we'll be able to hold our own against Dash. This is Madara Uchiha we're talking about, Mizukage-sama. Inoki interrupted. A legend who we thought was killed by the hands of Hashirama, the first Hokage. Not to mention, we got a youngster here who probably barely knows about him. Young or not, I'll still hold my own and fight till my dying breath against a supposedly living legend. Gaara responds, we're all in denial, I get that. But if you're not willing to lose limbs trying to defeat Madara or any enemy, then why even bother being Sasuke or stay off the battlefield? Gaara, although I respect you, you best watch your tone with someone who's experienced more than the both of us. Akatsuki told him, then tell your old man not to doubt my younger brother. Temari said. Kankuro joined in to clap back at Akatsuki. Missy, all Gaara did was dash. Quiet down, you two. Gaara interrupts. Apologis, Sutikagi-sama. It got quiet until the Raikage had cleared his throat. Another thing I would like to ask is for you, Hokage-sama. Tsunade looked up at the man. Even though he put up a fight against everyone in this room, he still seems to have bad blood with Madara. Hokage-sama, is Naruto on our side? Tsunade cleared her throat as well. Although Naruto is Dash. Just answer, yes or no? The Raikage repeated. What are you trying to get at? Sasuke asked. Sasuke Dash. I believe I was asking your Hokage. Hold your tongue, brat. And I'm asking you a question. Sasuke, now's not the time. Kakashi told him. Are you suggesting Dash? No. Tsunade interrupts. He's not on our side. It's very clear that he wants nothing to do with me or anyone in this room. The Raikage took a sip of his sake before setting it down. I see. In that case, the Raikage sat back down and took a deep breath. We need him dead. Sasuke's eyes went wide and Sakura stood up. What? If he's not on our side, then we know he won't comply with us. He'll get in the way, and who knows? He'll probably try to kill us before Madara does. Inoki joined in, not to mention that he killed an elder. Surely enough, the elders won't take that lightly, so it's only a matter of time before he dies. I agree. Mei said, you can't be serious. Sasuke grumbled. Tsunade sighed. You're right, Raikage-sama. She said. Sakura slightly gasped as she looked over at Tsunade. So, you old hat. Sasuke said. Sasuke, stop. Kakashi ordered. You best get him under control, or else I'll do it myself. Raikage said. Sasuke got in Tsunade's face. You said it yourself. You see him as a grandson. Are you really going to give up on him like that? How can I give up on someone who's already given up on us? Tsunade responded. He made his point clear. We have to respect that. But because he won't come home, we can't let someone that rogue roam around causing mayhem. But Dash, she's right. Shut your mouth and accept it, brat. Inoki said, shut the hell up. Talk down that Sasuke again. I won't hesitate to get you out of here by force. Akatsuki said, try me. Sasuke, that's enough. Doing this won't change their minds. Kakashi said, hell, if you don't want him dead that badly, then go up to Madara and die too. You both can live on in the next life. Inoki said. Sasuke activated his Sharingan as Akatsuki jumped in front of Inoki and had a jutsu ready. Sasuke, stand down, Tsunade ordered. Same for you, Akatsuki. Inoki joined. An explosion then went off outside that shifted everyone's attention. Screams could be heard as people cried out for help. The hell is going on? Raikage shouted. A guard then entered the room. Emergency, he shouted. Akatsuki is here. They're at the beach. Darui and more of our soldiers are out fighting right now. It's like a whole army of them showed up out of nowhere. Kakashi, everyone, get down there, provide an extra set of hands. Tsunade ordered. The rest of the Kages told their people the same thing. From the window, the Kages could see everything happening. How the hell did these guys get in here without anyone noticing? Before everyone could rush down, Karen then called out to everyone. I sense chakra somewhere in this area. Everyone got on high alert again. Is it Madara? Gaara asked. No, it's something sadistic. Could be another Akatsuki member. Damn it, we all need to stay on high alert. Get down there quick. Mei said. Right. Chojuro said. Karen then gasped again. I sense another. It's a familiar chakra. Dark and sinister, just like at the village and the summit. she said. Everyone looked back at her as they prepared themselves for the situation to go from worse. To hell, it's Naruto. Kisame's POV. Kisame looked down at all the chaos that went on down below as he smirked. Seems like Zetsu is keeping them occupied long enough. It's going to take more than hours to take on an army like that. Kisame breathed in the fresh air as he heard the screams. The more you experience battle, the more satisfying it is. People in this world think there will be peace, but as long as battle continues to act out, something as absurd as peace isn't even attainable. The cries from men, women, and children can be heard. People were seen running for their lives as they all tried desperately to see tomorrow. Live or die, that's the only thing that matters, not only in battle, but in the ninja world as well. He went on as his smirk got wider. Wouldn't you agree? He said as he turned his head around. Naruto Uzumaki? The boy stood there with a killer's intent in his eyes. His Sharingan flared as his Rinnegan could be seen clearly. He stared deep into Kisame's soul as hatred and anger boiled through. He had finally come face to face with the man who tried to kill him. Indeed I would. Kisame, Kurama, we need to stay away from Samehada, even if it manages to get a scratch on us. I know. Therefore, I'll leave this guy to you for the time being. Use my chakra, only if needed. This will indeed be a much difficult match than before. Kisame told him, I'd much rather fight somewhere else. Being in close quarters in the forest is really annoying. Naruto said. Kisame smirked and ignored him. Like you have a say in where we'll battle. You've managed to kill all of us? Even Pain, who possessed the Rinnegan, which is now in your control. Kisame, Naruto repeated. I'd much rather fight somewhere else. Kisame shook his head and held that same smirk. Regardless, I should still dash. In less than a second, Naruto's right fist had connected with Kisame's face as he fell flat against the grass. He wasted no time dragging the shark-like shinobi against the ground, through the trees, then eventually throwing him on top of the Raikage building in the Cloud Village. This seems more reasonable. Naruto looked below to see all the shinobi fighting against the Zetsu clones. They're going to be pretty occupied for a long time. That's what I need. Seems like I'll have to take you a lot more seriously. You should have taken me serious the moment your buddies started dropping left and right. Naruto questioned. Naruto then picked up some rubble and tossed them towards Kisame's feet. It's you, who I'm not taking serious. Naruto said. Because why take someone serious if they're going to die in a few minutes? You sure talk a lot. How about we settle this now? Kisame said. Naruto chuckled as he threw 2 more rubble pieces at Kisame. If there's one thing you should know about me now, I'll always be a step ahead of my enemies. The rubble that was below Kisame's feet then turned into clouds as clones of Naruto appeared. Shadow clones? One of the clones then punched Kisame as the other kicked his gut. Another clone delivered another kick to the gut before the real Naruto stepped up to punch Kisame in the gut as his arm was covered with the tailed beast chakra. Naruto's other fist became the same, and he began to deliver blow after blow to Kisame before jumping and kicking him to the ground. The chakra began to form all around Naruto. Kisame laid flat on the roof of the Raikage building as Naruto stood over him. This is the end, Kisame. Tell everyone on the other side. I send my regards. Naruto said before activating his Rinnegan, which caused Kisame to start floating in the sky as Naruto kept his hand held out. And in a mere second, Naruto slammed Kisame down into the ground face, first to the point the man was beyond recognition. Naruto stood there a bit puzzled and dissatisfied. His eyebrows furrowed as he looked at Kisame's lifeless body. Something doesn't feel right. He mumbled. He began looking around, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. I was expecting a fight, but this was disappointing, Kisame. As if on cue, Naruto then felt a heavy kick to his back. The boy yelped in pain as he crashed against the floor. Quite impressive, Kisame called out. Naruto then saw out the corner of his eye, his enemy standing over him, with Samehada completely exposed. Naruto then put the pieces together. He looked back at Kisame's dead body to see the skin slowly melting. The skin went from blue to white. Tisich, figures, Naruto muttered. Kisame then jumped down from the Raikage building and landed on the ocean. That same annoying smirk on his face once more. To think that Samehada would enjoy such chakra that much. He's already fully satisfied. Naruto stood on his 2 feet as he jumped to ground level, his feet not touching the ocean just yet. "You're that much of a coward that you'd rather stand around doing nothing while I fight off a clone? I can't underestimate you, seeing how you've handled yourself pretty well against the other members of the Akatsuki," Kisame told him. "I know exactly why Kisame is on water level, but if this is the risk I have to take in order to beat him so I can move forward, then so be it." Naruto jumped down and onto the water as he stared into Kisame's eyes. "No more bullshit," he told him. "Why, of course." Kisame did hand signs, and then water began to form where he and Naruto were at. With the way the water globe looked, it could overpower the Leaf Village in its current state. Naruto began to float and held his breath. He knew he couldn't be able to fight like this for long. "Now, the real fight has begun," Kisame called out. Naruto looked to see that the man had looked completely different than before. He looked like an actual shark this time. It was a disturbing, yet very intimidating look that any shinobi would fear. "He's fused with Samahata that quickly? Damn it." Naruto made a shadow clone, noticing that the clone had not vanished yet. So luckily the jutsu wasn't effective that much. But it sure gives Kisame the upper hand no matter how you look at it. Naruto then created more clones as they all scattered around. "Kurama, we're gonna fight, but it can't be for long. I'm gonna have these clones figure out how we can get out the water's boundary. After that, we leave it, forcing Kisame to come out as well if he truly wants to kill me. Don't underestimate him, Naruto." "I won't. Not again at least." Naruto then rushed towards his enemy, and the true fight had finally begun. Naruto figured that most of his ninjutsu would be hard to in this water, so he was going to have to stick with taijutsu for now. At least until all of his clones had reached the boundary. His taijutsu had improved a lot, but of course, it was nowhere near Rock Lee's taijutsu, and it's miles behind Maigi Guy's. Kisame being fused with Samahata sure gave him tremendous strength to say the least. It's like none of Naruto's kicks or punches were doing anything. Naruto knew that out of all Akatsuki members, Kisame had massive chakra preserves, enough to maybe be on par with Naruto, despite being an Uzumaki and possessing the Nine Tails. Kisame threw a good punch to Naruto's ribcage, making the boy grunt in pain, water slipping into his mouth as he tried his hardest to fight. Naruto then looked down at his chest to see chakra still being taken from him. "You gotta be kidding me." Spike then came out of Kisame's hand, as Naruto felt sharp pain on his chest. "That reminds me, you've never seen this form up close, but you've been told about it." Naruto quickly backed off Kisame as he kept his distance once more, clutching his chest as some blood began to flow. The Nine Tails got to work really quickly as he began to heal the boy's wound. "When fused with Samahata, I gain its abilities, whether it'd be spikes or consuming more of your chakra," Kisame told him. "Now, what is it that you'll do, Naruto? I know you plan on playing defensive now, but it's only a matter of time until you eventually break bit by bit." All the shadow clones had then reached the boundary, and they all put their hands on water boundary as the water began to split all around, giving Naruto a clear opening. The boy wasted no time rushing towards the open. He made his way out the jutsu and landed on the water beneath them as he coughed, trying to regain his breath and composure. "To think that bastard would have me struggling. Water style, 1,000 feeding sharks." Naruto then looked up to see lots of sharks heading his direction. Lots of water splashed around him. He could barely see where most of the sharks would be coming from. Such a damn annoyance. Naruto did the same hand jutsu as he created even more shadow clones. Created more than just an army of clones, just so they can fight off the sharks. "Unlike the others, I won't underestimate you. I've noticed your talent even before they did, Naruto, but to think you've gotten that much stronger, I must say, it's impressive." Naruto activated his Sharingan this time. He knows how much of a toll using the Rinnegan can take on his chakra. Therefore, he didn't want to use it as much. Not to mention that Kurama does get a bit jealous when Naruto uses a power that isn't the Nine Tails, especially against someone like Kisame. A few sharks try to take down the boy, but he can easily read them with his Sharingan as he avoided them, or took them down with ease. Although, using your chakra would help a lot in this situation. He can easily take it if I get too close with him. I can't afford that risk. Him taking chakra from me almost had me exhausted before we've even gotten into the first 5 minutes of our battle. Heh, you underestimating me, brat? Unlike you small-minded humans, Us tailed beasts have much more chakra. The amount he took from you is nothing if you were to take that same amount from me. Still, I can't risk it. We need to come up with a plan, and fast. For now, playing defensive is all I can really do. At least until we come up with a plan. Your brain in battle can be quite impressive. But there's still that glimpse of your younger days where you're still that same dumb kid I was sealed into. Naruto then made a raisin shuriken as he threw it towards Kisame, to keep him busy even for a few seconds, as he tried to muster a plan together. Sasuke's POV. Everyone was down below taking care of the Zetsu clones that had invaded the Cloud Village. Sasuke and Akatsuki were back to back as they defended themselves against the clones. Despite almost fighting each other at the meeting, and both being from different villages, their teamwork was surprisingly working really well. On your left, Akatsuki called out. Sasuke looked over to see a group of clones heading towards him. Go down, he tells her. The kunoichi had barely heard him, considering he spoke in a very low tone. But she follows his orders. She goes into the ground quick and hides in there, as Sasuke creates another Chidori in his hand. He then slammed his hand into the ground, as the currents of the Chidori began to make way towards the Zetsu clones. Akatsuki then comes right back up as they both look around for any more clones. You know, I've heard that out of all the shinobi in Konoha, you were the most talented. Part of me is starting to believe it. She says, just focus on keeping the village safe. He responded as he walked away. We kind of make a pretty good team. You just need to drop the attitude. She told him, your old friend is somewhere around here. Karen said it herself. I don't know much about him other than him being a rogue ninja, but the way you seem to defend him, that makes it seem like he wasn't always like that. Sasuke turned towards Akatsuki as she stepped forward to the point they were face to face. Him being much taller, therefore, he needed to look down. What made him like this? Who made him this way? She asked. Sasuke's eyebrows furrowed. Why should you know? Because my grandfather sees him as a big threat, just like the other Kages. He killed an elder. He killed an Akatsuki member who possessed the Rinnegan. One of the most powerful eyes you could have in the shinobi world. Hell, he's wiping out the entire group for crying out loud. And he also possesses the Sharingan, eyes that only the Uchiha clan once possessed before they were massacred. Sasuke remained quiet, and it became a stare down between the two. The silence spoke for itself. With or without her reasoning, Sasuke wasn't going to tell her anything. Akatsuki, a man called out. The two looked over to see Akatsuki's dad standing on high ground. More clones have entered on the far west side of the village. We'll need some backup quick. Akatsuki nodded as her dad went ahead of her. She reached the same high ground her dad had stood on at first, before looking down at Sasuke. You don't have to tell me shit, but just know that I won't lay a finger on your old friend. But I also have friends and family that I need to protect, and if Naruto gets in the way, I won't hesitate to put my life on the line when dash. Akatsuki then went silent as a huge shadow began to overcome the both of them. Her and Sasuke had both turned to see what was causing it, and what they say was quite a surprise. There was a whole army just falling from the sky, but it wasn't just any army. It was an army of sharks. There had to have been more than hundreds of them. What the hell is going on? Akatsuki questioned. Sasuke jumped up to her level and saw as water began to splash everywhere as the sharks came crashing down. They don't seem to be coming for us, Sasuke responded. And he was indeed right. The sharks weren't even worried about them. Their target was on someone else. Sasuke easily put the pieces together. It's Naruto. Akatsuki almost gasped, and as if it were right on cue. Hundreds of shadow clones were created. All had the same features as Naruto. We have to warn the others. Akatsuki was about to take off, until she felt a tight grip on her wrist. There's no need, Sasuke said. Like hell there isn't. You don't get it. Naruto isn't after us, he told her. Think about it. He didn't kill you, or anyone at the summit. He killed Danzo. That bastard had it coming. Sasuke gritted his teeth. Listen, we're not Naruto's main problem. You warn everyone else, they're gonna want to fight him. And they'll die if they do. Akatsuki looked over to see Naruto fighting against his enemy. She then noticed that he was fighting Kisame, another member of the Akatsuki. He's given us a few weeks to get stronger, but just a few weeks. With the way we are right now, we'll die in less than 5 minutes if we get in his way. Akatsuki freed herself from Sasuke's grasp, biting down on her lip before letting out a big sigh. That piece of shit could have killed us back at the summit. Hell, he had more than just an opportunity to do it. He could have done it for no reason whatsoever. But he didn't. And if what you're saying is true, then I'll listen. Akatsuki said. Sasuke looked back at Naruto and Kisame one last time before he began to take off. The dark-haired kunoichi followed from behind as they headed towards the far west side of the village. Naruto's POV. Water style. Super shark bomb jutsu. A huge shark then made its way to Naruto. He then went for a very quick kick on it, but the kick didn't budge one bit. Naruto then followed it up with a Rinnegan, yet that felt meaningless too. Naruto then took out his sword as he maneuvered his way around the shark, as he went for a full-on cut against the nape of its neck. But that only destroyed a bit of the top blade. Still not budging. What the hell is this? The shark's mouth then opened. It looked as if it were going to attack Naruto, but it stood in place. That was until Naruto noticed more chakra entering the shark's mouth. You're kidding, the shark? Lots of people seem to underestimate this jutsu. Super Shark Bomb will always start off strong, but the more chakra it absorbs, the stronger it gets. Kisame then had that same annoying grin plastered on his face once more. Your own chakra along with the Nine Tails. It's like our battle was truly meant to be Naruto. Naruto quickly backed off once more. He knew if he kept doing this, he would die. He also knew the Nine Tails chakra is beyond another level of his if he risks giving away any more chakra. The worst could happen. You going easy on him or something, brat? Had you been a little smarter with my chakra, we could have ended this minutes before he even fused. Kurama, I got a really stupid plan. HM. Naruto pulled out his sword and pointed it towards Kisame, turning it so that the blade was sideways. It seems I won't need your power for this fight. Are you an idiot? You were barely able to hold your own against the strongest Akatsuki member. What makes you think you'll manage with Kisame without me? I'm not going to play defense for the rest of this fight. I won't let him take any more chakra. Naruto then showed his Rinnegan to Kisame, the boy still standing with his sword pointed at his enemy. I won't lose. I'm gonna kill him. Then I'll kill Madara. You better fucking believe it that I will. Naruto then got in a stance as he began to focus on his enemy in front of him, being sure to read his movements and figure out how he can gain an advantage. Naruto finally made his move to start being on the offensive. This was a risk he was ready to take. His eyes were full of hatred, and a slit ran downwards in his Rinnegan, and same for the Sharingan. His speed had gotten much faster, and he jumped in the air, spinning, as he went to land his first blow on Kisame. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed exploring this What If with me. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos like this. Your support truly makes a difference, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Until next time, take care and stay tuned for more.